Greetings and salutations, fans of Dota 2. It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Lads Season 7 playoff action. I am joined, as I used to be often, and whenever I can for the first time in a while, by the one and only Artorius. How are you tonight?
Cheating on me asking other people to cast. Yikes.
I'm glad... that's a false statement, but I'm glad to have you back, sir. I'm glad to have you back.
Yikes, he's just saying that because he doesn't want me to leave.
If I didn't want you here, you wouldn't be here right now, Artorius.
I just want to go play Monster Hunter.
You don't want to be here. I want you here. That's the difference. But you know, we all have to do things we don't want to do sometimes. You know, I don't want to be a lads admin. I'm not a lads admin. You don't want to cast with me. You're now casting with me.
That's copium.
It is copium. Yeah, absolutely. But we are here tonight, though, for a winners bracket semifinals matchup up between the Apesimps, who were the 1 seed in Group A, versus Sheeeesh, who were the 2 seed in Group B. Sheeeesh are coming off a 2-1 win over Polar Ass in the first round of upper brackets. Looking at the stakes, though, the winner of this matchup goes to winners finals. They play the winner of Nearly Tilted versus Nebula. They will automatically be top 3. The loser will go on to play the winner of Roll Swap versus Clankers and the Guamins in the lower brackets. So obviously you want to win this series. Your route, hell of a lot shorter if you win it. If you lose it, well, you have quite the journey to make it back to the finals, to losers finals, anywhere higher in the bracket, so yeah.
I mean, if you lose, then you just use the copium of upper brackets for bitches. Easy.
Dear God.
There's always a way out.
That is one way to do it, but I'm going to now pull that off of the screen. I'm sure I'll pull it up between games. Salutations, fans of Dota 2. I didn't mute my Twitch again, but it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't use it either, because all of a sudden all I hear is, greetings! I'm like, holy shit! I just had to crank the max.
That's exactly happened to me too. But yeah, we actually are, as far as I know, going to temporarily be joined by Das in between games. He wants to talk to the people, so.
Oh no.
I know, that's what I say, but you know what?
That's a terrible idea.
I'm gonna let him talk to the people. So far, my between game interviewees are 0-1. We'll see if it becomes 0-2 after tonight's. Because I had Sonagot on until he lost this series, so perhaps if I have DOS on, perhaps he'll win, perhaps he'll lose, but if he loses, perhaps I shouldn't have any more mid-game interviews on anymore.
No, just keep doing it, but invite the team that you don't want to win.
Hey, Artorius, you want to go out for an interview? Oh, wait.
Dude, I'm not in playoffs.
I was going to say, I'm leaving on you again.
Dude, people finally figured out that I'm just a 3K player who bought my 7K account.
Or is it perhaps your teammates are 3K players who bought 5K accounts?
No.
Okay. We do have an actual draft on our hands, though. It finally has developed a little bit. We have a AA and an Oracle banned by Sheeeesh. We have a DP and a Magnus banned by Apesimps. Apesimps open up with the Lion. Sheeeesh respond with Sand King Hoodwink. Apesimps grab a puck, and Apesimps will probably snap ban Terrorblade right here at the next ban, if I had to guess. What are your thoughts on this stuff on our screen so far?
I know Sand King is a comfort hero for Teddy, and there's been a bit of a meme and content about that's all they pick it for him.
Hey Teddy, you want to play Sand King again? Fuck no. Pick up Sand King!
Yeah. And then there's Hoodwink, just meta hero. Lion, just meta hero. Then on the flip side, you have Puck, obviously very good at catching these elusive heroes, such as Sand King and Hoodwink. You can't even use Burrow Strike on Sand King when you drop the coil on him, so it even removes his lockdown feature, which is pretty nice. So it's a pretty good pickup, and then they can protect it with bans here, since they picked it 8.
Yeah, I mean, they're already banning out a DK, which is obviously a nice little flexible hero to ban out. They still have not banned out Terrorblade quite yet. Well, I'm sure they will in the near future. That's been one of the narratives of the last 2 seasons of Lads is KU, the carry player of Sheeeesh, formerly of Stepbro, playing Terrorblade at a very high level.
They might not get rid of it though. Puck obviously a little bit of magic burst damage that I can throw in there. Lion's obviously really good at just deleting the illusions if he's trying to split push waves with the terrible illusions. So
I wouldn't risk it. There's certain player hero combinations you just don't let happen, and KU Terrorblade is one of them.
10 seconds.
That's my thoughts. I'm just a spectator who has lost many a man lose to KU Terrorblade.
5 seconds remaining.
yeah. But on the flip side, then why would you give Breezy Puck? It's the same scenario. Or why would you give Teddy Sand King?
I guess that actually is true. That is true. I guess I wasn't thinking too deeply about, like... I was mostly thinking about KU Terrorblade and, like, Potato Meeple, and that's about it. I wasn't thinking too deeply, to be honest.
10 seconds remaining.
See what else we have.
5 seconds.
It's like, DOS Enchantress is famous, but you don't see them banning it for a reason, you know?
Yeah. Skater Arc Warden, very infamous. You don't see that being banned anymore. I wonder why.
Good times, good times. But we do have some bans coming out. We do have a lot of strength, a lot of red strength-based heroes being banned out, actually. DK, Doombringer, Mars, the Axe, all being banned, though. All these melee strength, red initiators.
Yeah, none of the heroes that are currently in the pool are really that good against these big strength heroes.
Seems to be a lot of the meta as well, as picking these strength heroes and just running at the opponent and then having strength heroes. This seems to be the patch. It turns out when burst damage is good, then having these big ass strength heroes is also good.
Wait, so that means Necrophos is good?
5 seconds remaining.
You're funny.
Radiant team pick.
Alright, we have banned out 2 more tanky heroes, though one of them is not strength and one of them is not an initiator. We have Abaddon and Viper being banned out. I guess Viper's not an initiator either, but he can initiate a fight, but it's kind of, you know, walking
what
in.
do you mean Abaddon's not an initiator? Buy Echo Saber Manta Blink Dagger and you just initiate
10
instant silence someone.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, I've seen Nier play that, and I don't think I've seen anyone else play that to any actual good level. I'm pretty sure Nier was playing the If Only You Were Older team, so I'm not counting it as a real one.
Yikes.
Why should I?
Badger out here chirping people.
Yeah, I am.
You're an admin now. You can't.
Oh
flame
no,
people.
I have to be respectful to the players. No. What do
You
I
can't.
do?
You can't say to the worst player in the league, "No, I won't go kill myself." Fuck you. You're terrible.
But what if that player does tell me to kill myself and tells me I'm terrible? Good times. Speaking of fun heroes that are fair and interactive, we have Winter Wyvern.
10 seconds.
Especially with the absence of AA, thanks to that hero being banned out this game, is going to be
5
very powerful in the 5 position, unless we see a little bit... It's not even off meta anymore to put it mid anymore, is it?
What?
This is meta.
It's not. But you know, the counter for Winter Wyvern's Skyrath Mage, so.
We're seeing a lot of Skyrath mages this patch. Thank you. A lot of Skyrath mages going on.
I remember I was in a pub and the other team picked Winter Wyvern and I went to go pick Skyrath and Snow was just screaming no at me. And I'm like, but I wanted to do it.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
They're using a lot of reserve time, though, by Apesimps. They're already down to 35 seconds of reserve time on that second pick phase. They're spending a lot of time on what probably is going to end up being a 4 pick for them. Unless... Oh, what do you want to bet me?
That they already had a hero in mind at like 1 minute and Skater just hasn't clicked the button because he's just making up random debates.
Huh. You know, it's funny, we actually... I was meaning about DOS Enchantress, but we actually have Enchantress.
Skater Enchantress.
Not a fun Enchantress?
I'm assuming it's Lion 4.
Honestly, it's line 5.
5 seconds
Well, we'll find out which one's
Right.
which.
I think Enchantress 5 would be better. It kind of wins the lane more than Lion does. Lion doesn't really win lanes. At least not usually.
He's got a stun.
Yeah, but it doesn't do any damage and it doesn't trade very well.
On the flip side, the Edge can trade the 5 very well, though, if she's 4.
Yeah, on the flip side, the Eng could be your 5 and just win the lane for your carry.
Imagine wanting to win the lane for your carry rather than shut down KU. Come on now. Think, Burke, think.
Imagine being Sand King, the worst laning hero in the entire game, and having to lane against a 5 that's going to click you as well as a neutral creep.
I mean, Lion can do that just fine, right? He's king of the jungle.
Yikes.
I think we've really began to degenerate tonight. We do have a... So Terrorblade is not picked. We have the Shrek pick for Sheeeesh. That'll be their mid lane hero, we're assuming.
Yeah. Maybe not. I've seen Malefic play it 4 a few times now.
Yeah, Malefic has played it 4 a few times, but that would mean Malefic 4 Lesh, 5 Hoodwink, 2 Wyvern, or 5 Wyvern, 2 Hoodwink. I've never seen them play those heroes like that.
Yes, but Breezy is a mid-wing player. I know he's on the other team, but
He's on the RT, that's the problem.
yeah, it's not unheard of.
I know. Speaking of things that certainly are heard of, it is Luna for the Dire. One of the premier carries of the patch, and at long last we arrive at the Terrorblade ban. Nothing too shocking, especially considering it's a hero that does very well into the Luna. It's like, for Apesimps, though, they will be last picking their offlane hero, and for Sheeeesh, they will be 24 picking their KU hero for their wing conditions, so... Any heroes that come to mind as heroes either team be looking at for either Karan or for KU, or just, some standard meta stuff, on our near future?
I think for Apesimps, they're definitely going to be looking for some sort of beefy frontliner. Maybe even a bit of lockdown. They have a decent amount of lockdown, but just like something minor. I would say Legion Commander if there wasn't the fact that there's a Winter Wyvern, because that purge would be very good, especially with that shard that gives that 2-second BKB. Could be really crucial in the fights, but playing into that Winter Wyvern would be very difficult to do.
Yeah, it's another strong carry being banned out in the Spectre. I'm actually interested to see what KU's going to end up playing. Very, very interested at this point. We are now, though, arriving at the ultimate ban of the draft phase. It is that last ban for Sheeeesh. They had their pick of one more offlaner to ban out. We'll see exactly what it ends up being.
Mid Lion 3 Puck, they're picking a 4 hero.
Yeah, no. I'm going to say no on that one. I'm going to call that one somewhat, if not moderately, doubtful.
Only moderately?
I'm starting to be generous. Look out for you. No, I'm trying not to ruin your random reputation. Alright, here we go. We have a... Well then, that is not what I expected. I don't think it's what you expect either. It's a Bloodseeker 3. Should also say a Bloodseeker mid and a Puck 3. We are still expecting the Puck mid Bloodseeker 3 though, correct?
I think they almost picked it as a flex. Right, because Sheeeesh is kind of flexing their heroes. I think it wouldn't be completely out of this world to pick it as a flex. I think it's actually a pretty smart pick too. It's pretty active with a low cooldown and Rupture. And as soon as Luna hits her timing, the Bloodseeker and Puck will be able to play with them.
Well done. We are, though, down to 20 seconds of reserve time on Sheeeesh for their carry pick. So they don't necessarily know what they're going to be leaning into. As you mentioned, could be the flex, so it could be the Bloodseeker, it could be the Puck. Obviously, a very different matchup spread depending on which hero it ends up being. And we will see a Gyrocopter, which is a hero we actually have been seeing a bit of an upswing of play in recently. Here's a hero who has seen a somewhat new build come out. It's the sort of super AFK farm 1 point in homing missile, max flak cannon, then skill stats type build with ignoring rocket barrage. We'll have to see if KU opts for it. And if he opts for it, how will Apesimps with the Bloodseeker Lion look to respond in that lane? What are your thoughts though, overall on this draft here?
I think Sheeesh definitely have the team fight capabilities, and Apesimps are probably a little bit more for the pick off and then push a tower type thing. I think in a full 5v5 fight, unless Apesimps have a large net worth lead, they would rather not take it. Just because like their only real form of initiation is like blink lion, blink puck, or just like a rupture. So it's nothing like really big. I'm a stop a lot of people from doing stuff for a while. Whereas you have like a Winter Wyvern ulti, you have a Sand King Burrow Strike. You even have Hoodwink's stun isn't too bad as well.
Alright then, we're going to see how these teams execute as we are now finishing the strategy phase for the players. We'll be jumping into the game quite soon. Should be fun to see. I actually personally like this Radiant side draft though. I think this new gyro build is actually quite powerful.
I think if they go with that new gyro build though, they're gonna have difficulty in lane because your kind of whole way to win the lane with that build is to just harass the enemy out of it with flat cannon, but you can't harass a Bloodseeker with chip damage.
That's why you just don't win the lane, you just leave. You just leave. Alright then, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of a best of 3 in the winners bracket semifinals of season 7 of Lads. I am Badger. I am joined once again by the one and only Artorius. Hopefully we are in for a good series of Dota 2.
Did you know that Artorius comes from Diablo or some shit? I don't know.
You realize that no one's gonna get the reference, right? You realize that. It's literally a reference you make in Mordhau to piss off Mordhau players who like playing Dark Souls.
Oh no, it's not to piss off Mordhau players, it's to piss off Dark Souls players who tell me my name's from Dark Souls, even though it's not.
But when do you ever run the Dark Souls players outside of in Mordhau?
30 seconds.
Literally everywhere.
Really? Oh.
Snow's a fucking Dark Souls player.
I've never seen him bring that up, though.
No, because he brought it up the first time he met me, and I told him where it actually came from.
Aha. Speaking of Dota 2, though, we actually had a 5-man smoke by Sheeesh. They're actually in the Radiant Tri-Camp, but they just completely have missed heroes. They're now running into fun of a 3-man stun there. With that Earth Spike, though, which means KTA will grab the bounty on the Tri-Camp. And it actually might not end up being 2 for 2. Dire did not invade. They are not at the river. They are not at the Tri-Camp. And we are seeing KU now is brawling with Karan and Fun. Missiles on the way, ends up dying though, so KU takes some damage. Ends up being a pretty favorable trade HP-wise for Apesimps, albeit it is Sheeesh who claimed the 3 bounty runes. This is a little bit of brawling going on in the side lanes. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far. This is about what you expect from the laning phase in the current patches. We're seeing Enchantress and Hoodwink just... Oh, we pause coming up. We are seeing the Enchantress and the Hoodwink just trading here. As Malvik blocks this pole camp. Though Skater has Sentry in inventory.
I'm confused. Why did Skater block the large camp and then skill Enchant?
I don't know. Maybe he was just thinking like a normal support player, like, hey, I am blocking the hard camp. But then he remembers he's an enchantress, like, hey, I'm going to scale my ability as good.
Yeah, he wants the hard camp.
That's actually, I didn't even mention that earlier. It's like, there's like a weird dynamic where like, most 5s want to block the camp nowadays, right? But then Enchantress actually doesn't.
Yeah,
the skaters do anyways.
Nobody plays Chen.
I was gonna say, there's like 2 players in the world who play Chen and none of them play Lad, so that's irrelevant to me. Actually, it's nice with Gyro, though. You can just send a missile on supports and then just ignore it completely. We saw KU do that to fun there. And KU and KTA did a good bit of damage there, actually, with their spells. Seeing Breezy R, though, taking a lot of damage. Middle lane. Should be A-okay, though. Though, looks like KT's Courier not so lucky. Fun is very slowly running it down. And will kill it. That is our first blood, technically, that Courier dying there. In the Radiant Side jungle. I am just watching Breezy R in middle lane, though. I am scared. Something's going to happen, one way or the other. And Breezy R is 1 hit away from dying. Will not die, though. Bloodseeker instead, though, taking a lot of damage in the bottom lane. Switcher Blast is there on Karan. But there is no follow-up damage quite yet. So we have to wait a little bit longer for a kill. Although it seems like every... Mid lane it happens. Lightning Storm was used. Might be. Ended up missing it, but... Yeah.
Oh, that was huge. Courier killed top. Malefic kills Skater's Courier there. A little bit of miss micro, and now Skater doesn't have a salve.
That's a massive deal in this lane, actually. It's very big for... never seen a chant on Malefic. Malefic should die unless Teddy can't save him with that burst. Like, Sandstorm is there. Bushwhack was used, but Malefic dies to the impetus damage from Skater.
And not only was there first blood mid lane, but the creep score is pretty
Dominance.
heavily favoring as well. Yeah.
Actually crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure what League of Legends is doing in this lane, but he is just actually owning right now. This is genuinely impressive. I'm not sure if Breezy R expected the 2 points in Lightning Storm. We see a lot of the tracks nowadays go for the Edict points early. Some even skipping Lightning Storm entirely to go for stats. He has 2 points in Lightning Storm here, Insta Spuck. Certainly interesting.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's normally a pretty shit spell, because it doesn't do a lot of damage, but the fact that it does do a decent amount of damage, considering it's a puck with no health, because it's puck, so it's just harassing Breezy at the lane.
He's been taking a lot of damage. He might even need to figure out some more regen at this point. It's a rough time so far. And shockingly, nobody's died bottom lane, so I've been waiting for a kill in this bottom lane so much. Because they just keep throwing out spells, but just nobody dies. That's like the #1 shock for me in this game, is that nobody's died bottom lane yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're kind of both going farming builds, right? 2 points Blood Right, 2 points Thirst. They actually go 2 points Arctic Burn instead of a 2nd point in Splinter Blast on Wyvern.
Is that not normal on Wyvern? This patch?
I don't know about this patch, but normally you pick up Splinter Blast for the extra damage, because you just normally max Splinter Blast. But he's actually going for the increased point on Arctic Burn, which does decrease the cooldown highly.
I don't actually play Wyvern. I don't really know what you're supposed to kill in there, to be honest. I do with Dota plus stealthy most of the time. We're seeing Karan, though, is far away from the lane on the creep wave with KTA right now. KTA and Karan are trading. Now top lane is seeing a little bit of trading as well. They are moving on Teddy with the Lucent Beam, but it's not quite enough damage for the kill there with that impetus from Skater. Well, they certainly still want it. Speaking of farming builds, though, Doss not really going for farming build. He has 1 point in Glaives, 2 points in Blessing. So actually, maybe it actually kind of is a farming build. He just is not at the Mask of Madness quite yet. Of course, be his first item there on Luna. We're seeing Malvik though go on Skater. Pushback was there, needs one more hit. Can he get it? Salvages by Skater to stay alive for now. Now DOS hits Skater. Looks to re-engage with the enchant or an impetus. But DOS has enough damage to get the kill by himself. Once again, good teamwork there by DOS and Skater. That's a second kill now for Apesimps in that lane. Both of Malvik for that matter.
Karan's getting quite low, trading with the Winter Wyvern.
I mean, that's the idea of the Arctic Burn 2 points is just completely trade there. We're seeing is KU put a missile point in, go with Black Cannon, and then maybe the Arctic Burn, but the trade is the idea there. Middle lane, though, we are seeing League of Legends go for Breeziar. Breeziar has that haste rune, so it should be A-okay. Jaunted away from the Leshrac, and of course the accompanying Wyvern to TP it in.
He's running at the Gyrocopter, but he's running at him underneath a ward.
It's also a Gyro who's currently under the tower. Though without that ward, he probably would have went into the wave. Perhaps could have been a kill, but in the very end doesn't happen. As that happens, though, Radiant capitalized a good bit of damage on the mid T1 tower. Breezy actually jaunted in, but Radiant did not want to continue the dive into a puck with the Dream Coil, of course. We are seeing Skater TPing in, though, so it is now 6 heroes in the middle lane area. Both teams have both supports nearby, and of course the mid laners are still there. This game is quickly degenerating outside of the laning phase, which is interesting to see, to say the least.
Yeah, well, when both safe laners kind of just want to go farm jungle with their builds, then there isn't really a reason for supports to stay into their lanes.
Teddy has skilled Epicenter at 6 as well, so that almost indicates they want to go for a kill. Speaking of going for a kill, though, bottom lane they are moving on Fun. Holy Missile is there, Arctic Burn is there. KU has the right clicks, Fun goes down. It's now 2 kills apiece. Both teams now picking up 2 kills. At long last, at minute 7, we see, minute 7:50 at that, we see our first kill in the bottom lane. I was watching that for the entire laning phase. Maybe I was watching the wrong location. Top lane, though, they are moving on to DOS. Epi still was not used. This time, Teddy didn't have the Mango he already previously used, so DOS remains alive for the time being, but at this point, I'm sure he does not want to be in this top lane for much longer.
Yeah, however, there is a 3-man rotation coming in from the Dire under smoke. Should catch Teddy here.
Yeah, there are sentries on the ground and 1 in Fun's inventory, so they have the protection they need to kill Teddy. Coil is there, the Earth Spike is there, they are hitting, Impetus is there. Now in comes the Nevermind. Epi is cancelled there by Breeziar. So there is no Epi. Would not have been a kill anyways, but yeah, that is Teddy's first death of the game. If you add a... middle lane Rupture is there on League of Legends, but the mid T1 is now dead. The TPing on Breeziar phase shift is there. He's not hitting on League of Legends. They use the Embrace on League of Legends, but he's running out of mana. He's running out of HP as well. Earthspike is there. Hits on the Leshrac. Karan is hitting. It's a 3v2 in favor of Apesimps. Down goes Leshrac. They move to KDA, who has Splinter Blast too slow too. But KTA is merely buying time at this point. He is inevitably going to die to something. Best case scenario is that Ancient Camp for a neutral deny. Earthspike was missed this time. KTA heads for the Ancients. Can he get it? He's trying desperately, but will not get it. 2 kills for Apesimps.
In the meantime, Teddy trying to take these stacks, and Skater's kind of just been in the triangle scouting them and trying to stop those attempts.
It's like both teams actually have a lot of farm right now. Looking at this last hit chart, I mean, KU 82 last hits, the Leshrac 75, DOS 70, Breeziar 61. Even the offlaners both have 50 right now. It's a high farm game right now, and it is reflected in the net worth counter. Burrow and Epi are there on Skater. Yeah, in comes that split earth. Down goes the Enchantress. So now Teddy has revealed that he is indeed skilled Epi, even though he already used it multiple times this game. Just didn't finish the channel. Now Sheeesh will attempt to go for this top tier 1 tower. They have that minute 10 siege unit on the way. They have 4 points in Edict, and Apesimps have accepted their tower is going to die. But as happens, bottom lane Rupture is there on Malvik. The dive with 2. Lucent Beam is there. Down goes Malvik. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade across the map, and they will try to equalize that with the tower trade, but Radiant push a hell of a lot faster, so Radiant actually TP in to defend their own bottom T1 tower.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard to take it with a Sand King sitting there in a Wyvern backing them up. Even without Winter's Curse, he has 2 points in Cold Embrace.
We're assuming the tome went to Malefic, right? Maybe not, actually. They're both 5 still.
Maybe it just hasn't been bought yet?
Maybe. It's possible. It happens sometimes. In the heat of the moment. We're seeing a bit of an attempt top lane on Karan. Karan, though, is running away from League of Legends, but he's not running fast enough. Lightning Storm, once again, is there. Good split Earth from the trees from League of Legends. That is now 3 kills for the Leshrac, making a lot of space right now, actually. Already has that hood. I'm sure he's heading for Travels and Eternal Shroud as his build this game, so he's going to be extremely, extremely strong in this coming, like, 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, despite Karan already having Boots of Travel, he still wasn't able to outrun the Leshrac.
I mean, that is a sad day for Dire. They found KU at the Tri-Camp, under their ward even, but it was not enough damage. They had Fawn and Skater nearby, but they didn't even attempt for the kill. They just gave up. They understood, hey, this is not going to work. What is not going to work as well, though, is the kill on Doss. Never mind, Doss is fighting this. He actually will go down. They're bringing in the cavalry. But Doss is a little bit too fast. Almost got brought down there by the Leshrac and Wyvern who were coming in. Got away just in time. Who's not going to get away, though, is the Malefic Hoodwink top lane. Coilfinger, both were committed. Hoodwink, now in the grave for 20 more seconds.
Yeah, there's also some pretty large stacks in here that Luna looks like she is now rotating to go over and take. So that should... Nope, she's staying in the Tri-Camp. There's leaving the stacks there.
I mean, there's these sizable stacks that they're almost lucky that Sheeesh does not know about them because they have a Sand King and a Leshrac, and Gyrocopter for that matter. All 3 cores are actually super able to kill stacks. But it is Karan instead who's killing it.
Yeah, right now he only really has Boots of Travel, so it is a little bit hard for him to fight. So giving him these stacks will get him closer to that Atos and allow him to fight a little bit easier.
Alright, Burrow is there, on to fun. Doss is nearby, but Doss appears to accept that his Lion is dead. Lion runs in the left direction, but now Malefic comes in, running at Doss. Acorn Shot is there, Curse is there, Bushwhack is missed thanks to that Curse, but now in comes that Sharpshooter, will break onto Doss. Doss gets destroyed there. Epicenter, thought it was used, got cancelled at the last minute, but ends up being 2 kills for Sheeesh. And they may parlay that one into a bottom tier 1 tower, perhaps. Or perhaps not, they're actually running in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's not a very large, important tower. So, knowing that there were still 2 heroes there, they might not have wanted to try to defend it, not knowing that Bloodseeker's on the other side of the map.
And because he has travels, he can be pretty much anywhere. Might not have the resources to be useful anywhere, but certainly has the ability to be anywhere, so we're playing it safe rather than sorry. It is that bot T1 tower. This is probably... This Dire side bot T1 tower is probably the most... Oh, never mind. Middle lane, something more important is happening. Coil's there, onto. Pushback was missed, though. Now in comes BZR, looking at Malefic. Malefic goes down. Now, League of Legends is low. The Finger is still on cooldown, but they don't need Finger. Apparently, the Shrek will go down. Now in comes KU, has that call down. But cannot commit there without his teammates being alive. So it ends up being 2 kills for Apesimps. They now once again have the net worth lead. It has been a very back and forth game though, net worth lead wise. Neither team has gotten too far ahead yet.
Yeah, it was actually a really good dodge by Puck there. Phase shifted the moment the Sand King burrow striked it, and I don't even know if he saw him there or not.
As happens though, bottom lane Skater is extraordinarily dead. Once again, has 2 ultimates committed, but it's only Epicenter and Sharpshooter. One of them being a low cooldown, the other one being Epicenter, so no big deal, nothing that I was lost. But Skater is certainly in the grave.
This is interesting. Doss went for 2 bands of Elven skins, typically for Dragonlance, but he's actually turning one into a Yasha first.
Maybe he was thinking Dragonlance and then decided to opt away for it, or perhaps go back for it later. I'm not really sure what's in the mind of Doss right now in terms of his Luna itemization. Oh, yeah, okay, he has Dragonlance once again queued up, actually, so he is going back for it. Decided he wants the move speed of the Yasha, though, apparently, before he wanted the raw stats and the attack range of the Dragonlance. We are seeing smokes come out, though. Dire, smoke is 3. It looks like Radiant smoking is... Never mind, no, they're not. Maybe they are, actually. They actually are grouped as if they're going to smoke, but Dire certainly are smoked. They're at that tri-camp once again as 3, but Sheeesh are playing very far back for the time being. Now the track is showing, but we're actually seeing a coil mouth and instead it's instantly broken. In comes that silence, in comes Orb, but in comes the Embrace. Now Teddy is nearby, but Breezy jaunts away to the south side. They are chasing, Teddy blinks in, Blink Burrow is used, Pushback is used, Split Earth is used, Sharpshooter finishes that kill, and 3 tips come out.
Yeah, they just got a little bit split up there. Lion and Bloodseeker is still in the triangle looking for anyone. Couldn't go in the Lesh because they didn't have their Puck there. Puck already committed coil in mid lane. But then there just wasn't quite enough damage with that Cold Embrace heal.
We once again see a smoke. This time it's by Sheeesh. It missed though. They popped it, I believe, on DOS at the very end there, but they could not connect on it. They actually ended up denying their bottom tier 1 tower. So technically that is Apesimps' first tower of the series. And Sheeesh, despite being bottom lane with numerical advantage, once again do not commit for that bottom tier 1 tower. Apparently, is it one of those things, or is this just the completely most worthless map in the game, this Dire side bot T1 tower?
Yeah, those towers do literally nothing. Except for help your lane get shoved out a bit.
And it seems like literally nobody cares about this tower. At least, like, you know, the safe lane towers on the T1 side of the side lanes. People care about safe lane towers. And even the Radiant top T1, it's like, hey, this is a Roshan tower. This Dire T1 just seems like it's a gold pinata and nothing else.
It literally does nothing. It doesn't stop people from entering the triangle. It's not even really that great of a TP spot to go to the triangle. You can just TP to mid to help anyone there. It's just there's no point of having those towers.
Apparently they've decided that 30 seconds of their time is more valuable than killing the bot T1 tower, which is probably a fair assessment, actually.
So KU is picking up a BKB.
Alright then.
Which is kind of weird. Because, like, I feel like he doesn't output that much damage right now, and he still wants to farm another item or two, right?
I believe you're right, but I think maybe he thinks that the Dire went to take it to him soon, and having that BKB this game is very important. Like, say, looking at the Lion blink timing, at the Puck, Witchblade blink timing. Maybe he's thinking, hey, they're going to come at me with blinks, therefore I will need BKB. That seems like the most logical explanation for why is BKB here. I think it makes sense.
I think Dire still have a little bit to go, though, right? Like, their Luna wants to finish up the Sange, and then probably wants to pick up a BKB, and then they'll go.
That's probably true, but
I guess he's just not being greedy, right? He's just ensuring that he'll be ready. Yeah, now he's going back for that Sange and Yasha.
it's one of those things where I'm not sure what they think the Apesimps are doing. That's like meta-analysis at that point, though. Mid lane, though, there's a coil on 2. Rupture was used on Teddy. Coil's broken already on KU. You just simply wanted to break it now rather than later. Ultimately, Dire actually commit 2 ultimates, find quite literally nothing, and Radiant say, you know what, that's your team fight abilities. Guess where we're headed? We're headed into the Roshan pit. Fight me. And, well, I don't think they can.
Yeah, pretty hard without coil and rupture.
Seems like
Sheeesh fight of the Radiant.
Yeah, it seems like Sheeesh have really gotten their timing window down. Like, they have this BKB on the gyro. They know, hey, the Dire team needs everything to fight. And while they're missing everything. Correction, they're missing something, which means they no longer have everything. And now they can go to the Roshan pit and they can't stop us. Aegis goes to KU on the gyrocopter. No shocker on that one if you've watched any other Sheeesh series who gets the agencies on that team. But looks like they're ready to go. This gyro is obviously not as large as he can be, but he is quite strong right now. Has maxed out attributes actually, as well as that BKB and Aghanim. So he has a good bit of stats right now. He can potentially fight with his team. Speaking of the team, I mean, there's a Blink Dagger now on Teddy. There is a good bit of items now on this Lesh rack. Has a Sange, a Hood, and a Travels. He's a little bit tanky at this point as well. At this point, if you're Sheeesh, is that the plan? Is just you 5-man group, get some tier 2 towers, start getting some more map control?
Yeah, like you have the team fight.
Oh my, they find Breezy middle lane, Split Earth is there, Pulse Nova is there. They're a little bit short on damage, but KTA is on top of Breezy R, hits him with Arctic Burn, but Sharpshooter is the ability that ends up finishing the kill. Coil is committed on Wyvern, now Split Earth is once again there, this time onto Skater, in comes that Burr, looked for 2, only found 1, but the 1's now dead, ends up being a 2 for 0 in favor of Sheeesh.
Malefic hunting DOS too, but gives up as his team realizes they're just gonna push mid.
It is certainly a good time to grab that mid T1 tower, perhaps grab Tri-Camp control, perhaps take that outpost afterwards. Let's see what they end up doing and what order they end up doing it in. We do know what is first, though. That is the mid T2 siege. Edict is there. KU is there. The tower will not be there quite soon. Okay, the glyph will delay for a little bit, but that thing is not live for long. We're seeing Teddy and Malefic run at Karan top lane. KTA is there as well. Can Karan TP in time? He may try it. He is juking, but now KTA has found him. Rupture is there. Atos is there on KTA. But at this point, Karan is a dead man walking. Sharpshooter hits. Ends up being the epicenter damage, though, that finishes the kill. And it's another kill for Sheeesh. They still have 3 minutes on the Aegis. It appears that they want to keep taking it to Apesimps for as long as they have that item.
Yeah, that death by Karan was actually huge for the Dire, though. That creates a lot of space. Wastes a long time on the Aegis. It even took out 2 ults. They shoved out bottom, forced the Leshrac to respond to that one. And he's going to be up by the time they even get back to this mid lane tower to finish it off.
The mid T2 actually was still alive. It is now dead, but Teddy finds Breezy R. Fun, though, has that stun on the Sand King. Breezy R will jaunt it, but it's into KU. Now in comes Coil there on Gyro. Sharpshooter is used. Hits on Breezy R. They're slightly short on damage. And Breezy R should be fine. Has phase shift soon enough. Has it now. But as that happens, back to the Tri-Camp. Hex is there on Teddy. But both DOS, never mind, DOS gets caught. Fun gets away, but in comes Split Earth. In comes Bushwhack. In comes all the damage from all the members of Sheeesh. DOS goes down. That's another kill. This time it's a very important kill onto Luna. Her second death of the game. They, at long last, it's like, hey, the T1 tower, it's right there. We can finally kill it. And they will, of course, head back to the Tri-Camp for a more powerful objective in that outpost.
Yeah, it just looks like Dire wasn't quite ready for the aggression coming from the Radiant. Bloodseeker only really has 1 item. Breezy has 2 items, but he doesn't really have a defensive item yet. I guess he doesn't really need it. There's no silencers or anything. There's just stuns. Lion still just pretty much only has a naked blink. And Skater doesn't even really have a completed item. He's just about to finish up Pipe now.
You're seeing these legends, though, is looking for Karan. Rupture was used. Karan will not TP in time, though. Split Earth cancels that one. Now Breezy R engages. Finger is there, though, on KTA front bomb, but Karan goes down. They move to Fun. Epi is used. Call down is used. Split Earth finishes the kill, so it ends up being a 2-for-1 exchange. It is the offlaner and the 4 in exchange for a 5, though they do get a finger stack, and they get a little bit more time on the Aegis. We are down to 30 seconds, so perhaps Sheeesh will grab this T2 top. They have the time for it. But it does mean the high ground is alive for now. They have to wait for the next Aegis for high ground to be sieged.
Yeah, they probably weren't going to siege the high ground anyways, unless they won a big team fight. But they still do have a tier 2 tower up now. And they haven't really stopped the Dire from leaving their base yet. So I think Dire are relatively okay with what happened during that Aegis. But I feel like Radiant are probably still happy with what they got with their Aegis.
It's one of those things, too. It's almost like the gold lead does not indicate how the game is actually going. It's only a 1k gold lead for Sheeesh, but it feels like they have a lot more control of this game than that.
Yeah, they're I think the reason why is just like everything's relatively close, but just their items are more like fight oriented. Like Lesh has like Boots Travel, which is a given on Lesh. but they also have like a Hood and a Kaya Sange, which just allows them to fight. The Gyrocopter has BKB, Ags, Sange, and Yasha. It's all fighting items. Hoodwink has Aether Lens, which is a fighting item. You have Holy Locket on Winter Wyvern, which is a fighting item. And you have Blink and Pipe on Sand King, which is a fighting item. And then on the flip side, you have these farming items, right? You have Mask of Madness on Luna, is 100% a farming item. You have Boots of Travel on Bloodseeker, which is pretty
Also,
much
do
a
have an
farming
Epi
item.
Burrow onto Breezy R. That man is caught. Sharpshooter finishes that man. And as you were mentioning, all those items that are there to fight, well, they once again take the fight to Apesimps, and they find the very important puck kill.
Yeah, now they're finally taking this last tier 2 tower.
Yeah, that is the ultimate outside tower siege. Apesimps in this game 1 will be out of their outer towers, and potentially Sheeesh may go high ground. I doubt they'll commit for the full rack. They might get some tower damage here. KU on that high ground. Edict is up in 7. And Apesimps aren't defending quite yet. Skater now comes in to hit, but in comes that Edict. Tower is dropping low. Blip is there now. In comes Rupture. There on Leshrack. In comes Teddy. Burrows onto Doss. Hex is there. Doss is in BKB. So is KU. Call down. Drops. Sharpshooter. Kills Fun. Doss is man fighting. Atos comes in onto Leshrack. Leshrack is still out. Splitters comes in. Down goes Skater. And now is a Burrow away this time from Teddy. Breezy R is now alive. Coils there on 2. Wants to get both kills. Gets them out of 4 now. KU is still protecting his teammates. Doss now engages. Lucent Beam. Finally kills Malefic. But Sheesh are now disengaging. Breezy R, though, will look to join with Fun. Stun is there onto Teddy. They are hitting income round with that silence. Curse is there onto on Fun. Fun is alive, but instead they go over to Breezy R. Breezy R goes out that splitter and damage combo from Sheesh. And this is a cascading disaster for the Apesimps. They just keep losing objective after kill after objective after kill.
Yeah, the problem is that they keep getting these cores low, but they're not actually finishing them off, and the Wyvern's just getting heals off. And the two things that are capable of finishing them off are Finger and Enchantress. And the Lion died and had to buy back, so he wasn't there in time to kill the Lesh. And Skater tried to kill the Lesh and just died, so he was also dead. So the two things that they really have to go through this Wyvern heal, like they have other things that can damage to the Wyvern heal, but nothing to really burst through it. Like, they were all not on the map, so they weren't able to do it, and it just kept all of these cores alive for the Radiant.
We're at the point now, this game is still doable for Apesimps, but it's becoming harder and harder. They are losing more and more map control. Looking at Radiant vision, actually they don't have that much vision, but they have decent vision of in the jungle right now. They are putting up some more wards. For Dire, they have good vision, but they have just no towers. They're running out of permanent vision.
They have 2 BKBs up now, and a Glimmer Cape up on the Lion for the Dire, so these fights might start changing a little bit.
Once again, a fight breaks out, middle lane silences there onto, in comes that Coil, only there on the legend. The BKB's popped in time! Malefic goes down, but in comes that Curse, in comes that Splitter. Epicenter, though, is cancelled, the fall damage is not there quite yet. Now in comes Epi, looking for Skater. Meanwhile, Breezy R looks for the Legends, not going to kill quite yet. Fun is draining mana, might still die soon, has that Earth Spike, is not dead quite yet. Atos is there on the Gyrocopter. Now Teddy fights Breezy R. Burrow is there, both to the left. In comes Eclipse, they want to see the Legend. The Legend is well, the Legend goes down. Now Gyro, BKBs, fights, down goes Teddy. Karan goes in, looks for a Wyvern, but he has a Cold Embrace. Now Breezy R is hitting. KU still goes in, finds Fun, looks for Doss. Doss is low. Doss will go down in the near future. Correction, now. In the very end, it's simply KU and KTA. The safe lane combo, still fighting. It's a 3-for-3 overall exchange for now. Breezy R, though, re-engages looking for the Wyvern. Hits with that Witchblade, but missile is there on Breezy R. Breezy R goes down to a Sharpshooter! And Breezy R, the man known for taking the high-risk, high-reward plays, rolls green, loses all his investments. He's once again dead.
Yeah, he's just been, wherever he's been illusionary orbiting to, he always seems to get stuck right beside somebody. So his escape attempts haven't been working very well, and Radiant just gonna walk into the Roshan pit after this fight.
Yeah, there's going to be another Aegis to KU and a Sheeesh to KU, though the Shard goes to KTA, so this game won't be all 3 items to KTA, only 2 of the items. Though I suppose Gyro Shard... Actually, he has max Rocket Barrage, never mind. I was going to say, the Shard's pretty useless if you're not maxing Rocket Barrage, but he actually now has max Rocket Barrage nearly. He's just that strong. Gee, this Gyrocopter is actually so farmed right now, it's unbelievable. At this point for Apesimps, the lead, it continues to grow. How do you hold for the next 4 minutes against the Aegis timing?
Well, they have a decent high ground. The problem is all of their harass to kick everyone off the high ground just gets countered by Holy Locket, Cold Embrace.
Alright, we are headed on to the high ground. Tower is dead, but in the back lines they initiate onto Sand King. Sand King is still at Cold Embrace is there, and in comes the They want to get somebody. Skater goes down. Doss is BKB'd, hitting, but KU is winning that fight. Doss is low. Doss goes down. Breezyar's in that backline. Curse is there onto Bloodseeker. KTA will go down. Fun is a stun onto, but now in comes that Epi. Down goes Fun. Breezyar's on the run to the high ground. They are pinning them in out. Meanwhile, Karan is in the backline, cutting that wave, but the racks are still being sieged. Full set bottom is dead, and they head middle. They have a wave in the bottom lane. That thing will not die for now, and they will begin a siege on the second set of barracks. Karan cuts the mid wave, but not in time. The melee is already half HP. They will go down quite soon. They will go down now. Meanwhile, though, Teddy finds Karan. Epi is there. Bloodseeker hit by Sharpshooter. He will go down, and now in the mid lane, we're seeing Breezyar is in, perhaps, looking for Leshrac or Gyro. Finds neither now in the jungle. Might need to escape here. He gets caught there by a burrow. In comes Split Earth. In comes Bushwhack. Down goes Breezyar. And this game is looking over. And they call it Sheeesh. Win game 1 in 32 minutes. And it was beautifully executed.
Stupid as it's gonna sound, Dire lacked burst damage.
Yeah.
Like their Luna is all about sustained damage over time, but I mean nobody else on that team wants to fight in a sustained fight. Like you have Bloodseeker blows his 2 spells, you got Puck blows their 3 spells, you got Lion blows his 3 spells. Like hey, maybe Enchantress wants to go into a prolonged fight, but like kind of just lacked the ability to burst anyone.
It was the timing points too just seems really good for Sheesh, where they knew exactly, hey, we can go. We can go. Let's go. And they just ran them until, well, the base died.
Yeah, they had the better team fight. They had that blink stun initiation on Sand King, and then they had the Winter Wyvern to counter initiate. And then they had 3 heroes to follow up on either one of those.
We're at the point now where, I mean, Apesimps, do you just draft differently? Do you have to, like, approach the game differently? How do you adjust going into game 2 at this point? Do you have to get like a more coherent draft around burst damage, around sustained damage? Or what would you do if you were adjusting after that loss?
I think they just need to pick a plan and stick to it. It kind of felt like they wanted to do a bit of everything. They wanted a bit of late game, they wanted a bit of early game, they wanted a bit of laning stage, they wanted a bit of burst damage, and they wanted a bit of healing, slash, well, not really save, but healing, and then they wanted a bit of sustained damage. And I feel like you kind of have to pick one. Yeah, you might pick one and your draft gets countered and you lose, but it's better than being mediocre at all 3 and then kind of just ending up losing against any draft. Right? It's like rock, paper, scissors. Healings and saves. Well, saves counters burst damage. Healing counters sustained damage. And they kind of just had none of that. They didn't have enough burst damage. They didn't have enough sustained damage. And they didn't have any healing or save, really.
So certainly at this point, if we're using the rock paper scissors analogy, it's like using a pencil as an option, where it's not going to hold up against anything really. I mean, it just won't work.
Yeah, it works against like paper.
It's okay against
But-
paper, but it's not optimal, and then it's awful against rock and scissors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
we are.
shot saying Wyvern heel broken. I wonder who was picking fucking Wyvern with Blink Holy Locket 3 months ago. I don't
I
know.
wonder who. What? Or it couldn't be a. I wonder. It couldn't be possibly
couldn't-
like 7K Canadian player, right? There's no way.
No, it wouldn't be that guy.
It'd be like some American with real MMR from a real country, right?
What was it, 2 seasons ago when I said Wyvern was this great hero that people should start building Holy Locket on in lads, and everyone's like, nah, that's stupid. Why the fuck would you do that?
If Bulljack said it, they would have listened. People respect Bulljacks. They don't respect you.
You don't remember the DOS tent? Oh, I guess you weren't really casting quite yet. But it was DOS tent. It was me, Silverpike, and Brightside. And it was like, pick the top 5s of this patch. And I put Wyvern as number 2 because of Holy Locket and the Shard. And everyone's like, nah, no, you're a fucking idiot. I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm a fucking idiot. I know that. And I know I say a lot of stupid shit, but this one's legit. Trust me. And Brightside's like, nah, I'm a Wyvern player, man. That is, I hate this hero's awful.
That one gets a hearty laugh, hearty chuckle. But it's, and you can see it, especially with the prevalence of ancient apparition bans. It's basically like the one hero in the game that's both good and counters Wyvern. I guess Invoker also counters Wyvern. I guess that's 2 heroes that counter Wyvern that are good, and one of them's banned every game. So yeah.
Well, the problem is that you need so much burst damage because it heals so much.
Yeah, I mean you have Locket and it heals even more.
Yeah, and then depending on the hero you're healing, you can just heal them through shit that normally counters it.
Oh, all these tanky strength heroes that are in the meta. Oh yeah, heal them for like 350 per second. Yeah, go get him. Go kill this guy now, and you can't do physical damage to him.
You drop like a Skywrath ulti on a Centaur, and the Wyvern's just healing him faster than the fucking Skywrath ulti.
Like, what do I
You're
do?
like,
That's my entire heroes do burst damage. I can't even beat a heal. That keeps him in place. Skyrath's actually so bad right now. This is such a bad hero. Something that I'm sure you're well aware of.
Dude, the only thing that made him viable was the Shard that like lowered status resistance, and then they just removed that and changed it to like, every time you cast a spell, we'll give you 1 armor and 5 intelligence because you're a Skywrath and you want to get hit, right?
Yeah, man. If you cast 13 spells, you don't have 13 armor. Yes, that'll definitely.
That's gonna help my 1,500 health pool hero. Yeah.
Get extra mana, even though you get the intelligence after the spells are cast, so you actually get the mana at full ratio.
Yeah. And like I know the Q is amplified by intelligence, but that's like what, 10 damage every time you cast a spell? It does
10
more.
damage. That'll definitely
like-
do.
It's ridiculously awful. Let's see. Int damage multiplier 1.4.
14 damage. Oh dear God. I need to grab some more water. I'll be right back. I'm sure you can just go tell the people about fucking in calculations or some shit. I'll be right back.
They marked the win. That's crazy. DOS actually good lobby host? Question? Wow, number 1 offlaner in lads, Teddy, is the only divine player in this entire game. MMR is just a number.
Dire team pick.
They ban out the Sand King instead of the Magnus this time. Take out the Blink Stun initiation. Teddy does put in work on Sand King. I understand why you'd ban it.
10 seconds remaining.
And it seems every single game Death Prophet is not banned. It is picked. And if it gets countered, it gets put on Malefic. If it doesn't get countered, you put it on down bad.
Radiant team pick.
I bet you Das is going to ask for Juggernaut
10 seconds remaining.
because he saw Mars. Doesn't matter if the other 4 heroes counter Juggernaut.
Radiant team pick. Lena.
They go for the fun Lena. I don't know what else to say. But apparently I'm supposed to keep talking because Badger hates when there's dead air.
Lena DK.
So they go for the Lena into Dragonite. That is an AIDS combo and super AIDS to lane into. But it is a classic of Apesimps.
I was gonna say, AIDS is quite the classic at this point. You know, it's a little more retro than your more modern diseases, but yeah.
Yep.
We do have some, as you mentioned, the Lena DK combo. Apesimps have done that a lot this season, you are correct. Has been to great effect. They could potentially flex the Lena to the mid lane as well, and they have 24 picks, so there's a lot of ambiguity in their... Hey, even DK can go mid right now. There's a lot of ambiguity in what they could do.
Laner wants to play DK mid.
None of them. Literally none of them. I've never... Actually, I think Fata is the only one who's wanted to play DK mid.
Hemmingsley. I don't know if Hemmingsley wants to, but he always does. I was gonna say, what if your name's Mike, but then I realized, no, MX Squire doesn't want to play it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that man hates DK with a passion.
Radiant team ban.
Only one Mike likes to play DK.
We got Mike Hemmingsley and Fata, that's it. There's no... I think Yao, the retired Chinese player, used to like playing DK mid too. There's 3 players total, the entire world that playing DK mid.
Yeah.
We do have Abaddon, though, for Sheeesh. They got with the 8 picks. Another hero who has been pretty popular as of recently. Strong Dota 2-based hero right there, so
Remaining.
that'll certainly help in that lane, protecting whatever KU wants to play, considering it'll be stick on the Abaddon shield up against basically any part of that DK Lena combo, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Should probably do the Twitch prediction thing again. Did anyone predict last game? Yes, one person did. And they were wrong.
Was it Bulljack?
It was indeed Bulljax.
Yeah.
Man, we had more viewers. I think we had like 7 viewers when the last one started. Now we have 22, so that should help bring up the numbers on the prediction numbers at least. Perhaps.
Do you want to know why we have 22 viewers now?
Why would that be?
It's because you left to go to the bathroom.
That's probably fair. Yeah, it's part. This is just a daily ritual, you know, where it's you do it in between games. The one time I didn't do it recently, I got bit in the ass because the game afterwards, I didn't have fresh water, didn't have fresh trip to the bathroom. It was a 67-minute game, so of course, even though it was a relatively uneventful 32-minute and change match, it's hey, I'm not risking it this time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's how I produce 67-minute all-time classics. This is not going to the bathroom, and then this car was like, "Hey, make his kidneys hurt, give him kidney failure."
That sounds like an excellent time.
I know, it's you're stuck in the catch-22 of the thing that's embarrassing or the thing that's medically disastrous. So yeah,
Definitely go for the medically disastrous. Fuck being
yeah, definitely better than maybe you need to buy a new chair. We do have actual Dota 2 to discuss, though, rather than
10 seconds.
dark humor non-sequiturs. We have DP, Sand King,
the
Leshrac,
band phase.
Remaining.
Trow bands. We got AA, Oracle, Wyvern, Ursa bands. So nothing too outside of the ordinary.
I mean, we could just pull a Guam and like leave, and then magically come back the moment the draft ends. And he's like, "Oh wow, the draft's over."
Radiant team ban.
Hey, we gotta do for one of Guam's games, too. Gotta do for one of Guam's series. And then let's get back. Nope. A lot of the heroes we saw last game, we will not see this game. And by a lot, I mean 3. Puck, Sand King, Leshrac, all now banned. Find new core heroes to play, lads. Let's see what happens. Apparently Bulljax is scared. You should be scared. We're coming for you.
Yep. I'm gonna take Nova. Or Luna. Or whatever. The IO, I don't know. I'll take one of them.
Jesus. Yeah, you guys are scrimming Bulljax tomorrow. Your new stack, right?
What new stack? I don't know what you're talking
Oh, it's not public technically yet.
about. I am on a new team.
Even though it's mentioned in 3 discords that are public, it's not public yet.
10 seconds remaining.
Actually, we'll be casting it though. I'll be casting your scrim tomorrow.
Seconds remaining.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was oh, a very interesting co-caster, I assure you. Somebody who's definitely not an absolute simpleton regarding Dota.
Alright, yeah, when you're gonna cast with Snow's brother.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. He asked me to do it, and I've got nothing to do tomorrow, so should be an interesting evening.
About Dota, though.
I know. So let's put it this way: it'll be a fun night for me. I'll have to put in a lot of double time efforts. I have to do the play-by-play casting, and then go to explain what just happened, like co-caster. You see this ability terribly used? It's called Sunder. It swaps the HP of your hero with another hero. It's pretty good. It's actually on Apesimps this time, so they 15 pick it to deny it to Sheeesh. Sheesh, though, grab the lion. They want a little bit of burst damage for that Terrorblade-based hero. Finger certainly will help, and the Hex and the Mana Drain will be good for killing the illusions as well. So Sheesh have the 3 through 5. Apesimps have 2 of their cores, Terrorblade and probably DK, of course. At this point for Apesimps, you just grab your 5 and you'd be done with it, right?
Yeah. That also leaves potential flexes to your mid open if you take your 5 now. And you see what you're laning against. It's not a bad... Oh, wait. No, I'm not going to say it because it's banned.
Dire team.
You're going to say Wyvern? Are you going to say...
No, Oracle.
Oh, Oracle. Yeah, Oracle was first phase banned both games.
Yeah, it's the 2 heroes that Skater can play really well is Oracle and AA. And I banned them first both games.
And he will get it in neither game.
10 seconds.
We do have a clock pick, though, for the Apesimps. Is that a 5 clock this fine game?
Yeah. Skater watched me play Clock in the finals and was like, damn, I want to do that. And then he became a support player.
Dire team ban.
That's what, Season 4 finals at that point?
Mm-hmm.
That's a throwback right there.
Yeah, back when Skater was 0-0-1, shows up to 1 fight, is 7-0-1, and we win the game.
Well then.
10 seconds remaining.
Well then.
Just killed everyone, and then 2 buybacks killed both of them, and the game was over.
Sounds like the ideal core game right there.
Yep. Skater Arc Warden. I'm not gonna help in any fight ever, and then I'm just gonna show up and win the game.
He lived up to the promise, I guess. We do have a Zeus pick, though, for Sheesh. It's a hero that we have not seen as much of in the current meta, but it makes sense on this particular game. You know, it gives a lot of vision, which is nice in the clockwork, and also gives a lot of burst damage, which is very nice in the Terrorblade. I believe it's not the first time I've casted League of Legends playing Zeus either, so it should work out just fine.
Seconds remaining.
I have to be a little bit scared though, because there is 2 heroes I can kind of jump on him.
5 seconds remaining.
And I'm assuming that Abaddon doesn't want to be sitting behind his Zeus. He kind of wants to be sitting behind his Mars and whatever their carry is going to be.
Yeah, it just seems to be every game on Zeus is just don't get hit.
Yeah, that's hard when there's a hook shot that can't be canceled by spells like a blink can. Whereas like DK might jump on Zeus, but he could get his blink canceled.
This could be a very hard game to play Zeus then, but I'm sure he'll itemize appropriately. Or perhaps Apesimps will simply punish the Zeus pick. We'll have to find out. We're not sure quite yet what's going to happen. Let's see here. Let's start a new Twitch prediction, shall we?
The problem is like most heroes that counter Zeus are like spirits, and they get countered by Lion.
They have DK clock though. It should be fine, right? Not necessarily need another hero to counter out the Zeus, I don't think. Unless the two heroes that already do jumping are not enough jumping.
You need damage, right? Like Clockwork can get on Zeus, but he can't kill him. DK can get on Zeus, doesn't really kill him either. You need some sort of follow-up. And like, you don't want Terrorblade or Lena trying to walk through a Mars ult to get to that Zeus.
That is true.
So you want something that's going to be able to pump out damage into the Zeus that can get near him at least. Doesn't have to necessarily get on top of him, just needs to get near him.
Well, we have a Spectre, which is a hero who gets on top of heroes, but it's on the dire side instead, so that won't be happening. It means, though, for Apesimps, you're in a bit of a hard situation where I don't think there's any hero in the game that counters all 5 of those heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
Viper.
5 seconds remaining.
It doesn't really counter Abaddon, but it counters like everyone else.
Actually, is break for the ultimate on Abaddon. Actually, Viper does counter all 5 heroes. You're right. Holy shit. Good call, good call.
That magic resistance versus Zeus, you just don't give a shit.
That actually might be the pick for Apesimps if they think about it. If they want to go, as we predicted, DK3, Lena 4, they can go Viper in the middle.
Bet you there's 4 people on Apesimps saying Viper, and then there's Breezy saying, "Do
Ember.
not fucking give me
Ember."
Viper."
It looks like Breezy R is one out on that argument. We have an Ember Spirits. We'll have to find out whether or not the flashier, jumpier Ember ends up being more valuable than the old reliable Viper. But you know what? Those are all hypotheticals at that point. We are now jumping on in to game number 2. Remember those stakes. The winner of the series goes on to top 3, winners finals. It's where you want to be. The loser has a long road ahead of them. Sheesh, 1 game 1. Well, for game number 2, whose draft do you like more?
I have to go with the Radiant. I feel like, while the Dire do have an Abaddon, they don't really have anything to pressure a tower unless they have the Spectre there. And all of their damage comes from Zeus and Spectre. So, if the Radiant kills Zeus quickly, which they do have 3 heroes that typically can get on top of them relatively easily, they just win the fight. So even if they like lose a Dragonite to kill a Zeus, Spectre then has to kill 4 heroes practically by themselves.
I see your point, but actually I disagree with your assessment. I think Sheesh understand what it takes to play against Terrorblade and will contour their game style to shut Boss down early and play around Spectre item timings. I prefer Dire's draft though.
Fuck you.
We agree a lot on these things, so it's rare that we disagree on this. I know a lot of analysts like always like, all right, we need to disagree for narratives. I genuinely disagree with you for once. It's just kind of rare. If you are just joining us, though, welcome to game number 2 of Sheesh taking on Apesimps. Sheesh are the game 1 victors. Apesimps back against the wall. One more loss sends them to losers. I am Badger, and I am once again joined by the one and only Artorius. How you feeling, buddy?
Not good.
It's like okay, I'll just ignore that.
Just ignore it.
Ignore it. I don't want to acknowledge that. But it's like Twitch chat actually agrees with us in this one. They're like, why the hell are they not picking Viper? So apparently the mid player mentality is won out against the Viper mentality. We are though seeing another team smoke though. This time it is the Apesimps on radio who are smoking into the track amp. And they popped it on Teddy, but it is Teddy. Reflection is skill level 1 on DOS. But if Reflection is skilled and they don't find the skill, it's a disaster. Rebuke is there from Teddy, and Skater will not find it. So DOS has griefed his own lane, skilling Reflection first for first blood, that they did not get. It's a disaster already.
Yeah. The one problem with Clockwork 5 is that you can't really start Boots Tangos. So, however, Malefic might be getting cut off here a bit.
He's fine. He's in slight danger. He might eventually die to the tower or something, but he should be fine. He knows he's fine. He's faster than everybody.
The Radiant actually just, like, left the high ground and then just lose the rune because of it.
He ends up, once again, being 3 runes to 1 in favor of Sheeesh here. That is 2 games in a row they had the 3 rune to 1 advantage. And, well, the lane, it begins. It is now time for the fun. Skater blocks the hard camp. The easy camp, though, is still open, actually. We're seeing good old Reflection once again get used for Skater to trade a Malefic, but that's of little value. You know what's funny, Burke? I missed 1 kill last game. It was First Blood. That was the only kill I missed.
Yeah.
Of course, the one kill where everybody's watching for you to get the kill. I missed it, so hopefully game 2 is not the same story. I just missed 1 kill and it's First Blood.
I see First Blood happening in your cameras and all that. I'm just not going to tell you.
Thank you. I appreciate your contributions to the cast, Artorius. They're very useful. Oh, dear lord. We are seeing Skater. He's trying to trade bottom lane with the Reflection from DOS, but it's just not working. There's just not enough damage.
So he needs to trade outside of a creep wave, and the only way you can force them outside of a creep wave is Metamorphosis. Otherwise, they're just going to continuously stand on the creep wave.
And that's why I mentioned why it's like DOS is griefing its own lane with Reflection, because you really need... Like, it's a lot of emphasis. I remember I was talking with Nier about it. And Nier emphasized the value for a carry, like the first wave, first 2 waves. And on TB, meta allows you to secure those waves, but he just doesn't have meta, so it's a rough time for DOS in that sense. Alright, now we see... never mind, he was stunned there from Malefic. There is a First Blood. Spears there on DOS. Meta was used, but, well, nobody dies. Heroes take damage, but nobody dies.
Most supports hit the sentry and then just didn't finish it.
In the very end, Skater wins the sentry trade, though the Observer is still alive for the time being. That is good news for Sheeesh. They will have that vision in the bottom lane of Skater pulling or doing whatever the hell Skater does now. Top lane, we are seeing spells thrown onto KTA, but he is, well, in Abaddon, so he appears to be A-okay. Bottom lane, though, Battery Assault is once again there on Malefic. Cogs are there, but the Battery Assault actually is ending. Reflection comes on in onto both, but it's just, once again, a little bit too short on damage. Malefic even stuns for good measure. And once again, League of Legends is winning the CS mid lane. Top lane, they go on KTA. Thank you, sir. They will get the kill there. The last hits from Lina. You saved me, sir. The tip comes out on the fun. Thank you, Art. I actually would have missed that, too. Oh, dear God. Actually, won't go for KU as well. The stun was hit from Fun on the stun from Karan, but it's a little bit short on damage, and I'm sure there'll be a South coming out in the near future. Yes, there is. KTA doing his job.
Yeah, it's like Badge was over here talking about the mid lane. I look top lane. I'm like, he's actually gonna miss.
I would have missed it too. I would have been laughing at myself. You would have had to talk for an extended period of time at that point. So you saved yourself. They actually are moving on Skater bottom lane. Spear is there, but Skater has Battery Assault, has Cogs. Be stunned once again by Malefic. Skater is being run down. It's a few more hits. Cogs are there, but he's inside the Cogs. He'll kill a courier, but it'll cost him his life. Tip comes out on a Skater, so that's plus Dota shards for Skater, but I'm sure he'd prefer being alive right now than having plus 50 Dota shards.
You don't even get them. It's a custom game.
You don't?
Yeah, in Captain's mode, I don't think you get it.
That's just like consequence-free BM then if you just tip somebody?
I think so, yeah.
Alright, Valve needs to fix that. They gotta get the custom lobby Dota shards. This is a interesting situation in this bottom. We're once again seeing Cogs there on the Teddy. Reflection is used. I thought see Teddy's being run down by the battery assault. They have a little more damage from DOS. They will have it. Meanwhile, top lane, they're running at Fun. Mistcoil secures that kill. Karan now is hitting, but he cannot trade. It will simply be a 1-for-1 across the map. Fun for Karan. Sorry, Fun for Teddy. But obviously, that's not how Dota works. So it's simply a 1 kill in each lane.
Alright, so I've never understood this. Entirely, at least. So as a mid lane Ember, you're against a hero that does a shitload of magic damage. So you don't skill Flame Guard because it just gets taken off. However, couldn't it just like save you? If you just got like 2 points in it, it goes from like 80 to 220 damage. Or are those points just not worth it early?
I mean, it hurts the ability that you farm in the lane is probably the idea. I'm not really a big mid player either, is the problem. We're seeing both side lanes, though. Trading is happening. They're running a skater bottom as Cosby. He's back to top lane. They're running KTA. Fun hits the stun into Karan's stun. Down goes KTA. Overall, both fives almost die, but it's only KTA that joins the grave for the time being. And now it appears as though DOS has left the bottom lane, does not want to be there any longer, though the small camp is blocked, so his jungle will be a little bit more sad, but you know what, he'll be fine.
Malefic, I want to be careful here.
He's being hit by battery assault right now. Is there a reflection? Yes, there is. Malefic is slowed into that battery assault. Earth Spike is there. Actually, it's enough to run away, though. Skater does not have boots still. Spear is there, onto the clockwork. Overall, though, nobody dies. Simply mana, HP, and dignity were lost.
And Skater got a little bit greedy there. If he popped the mango instantly and then just hogs first and then battery assaulted, that lion dies.
Yeah, if you have no last hits, though, mangoes are expensive.
Yeah, but a kill is more money than a mango.
And that's long-term thinking, you know? It's far too advanced for Dota players, Artorius. Return on investment, what is that? All I see is yellow number in the bottom right of my screen. Mid lane, Breeziar goes down, though, to League of Legends. Thunder God's Wrath was used. There was a bunch of level 4 Arc Lightnings used, and down goes Breeziar. And as you mentioned, no points in the Flame Guard. Did not have enough wand charges to survive, and a very huge solo kill once again for the second time this series in the mid lane on Breeziar. Yeah, Malefic is playing with fire right now. He's just harassing a meta TB in the jungle. Breeziar rotates over. Malefic is rooted. He's hit by a slight. Should go down eventually. Stun is there, so Breeziar have to use another remnant perhaps. And will commit it. Down goes the lion. Cost-based created. Meanwhile, top lane, though, they are going on to KTA. He has shield, will use shield. Teddy is now the rotation in there. But as that happens mid lane, they look for Zeus, but they lack the spells. They're currently on cooldown, so overall, no kill top, no kill mid. Though League of Legends is low HP.
They are smoking towards mid. He might get caught here.
Yeah, there's like this massive confluence of heroes. There's Skater on one side, there's Fun and Karan on the other side. They're now TPing KTA into two heroes. They're now diving under that tower. Battery Assault is there. KTA nearby. Is there a shield? There's an LSA from Fun. Fantastic LSA from Fun. Now they move on over to KTA. Malefic has arrived. Miss Coil is used. Does not kill. The dagger, though, from Spectre will. Hex comes in onto Lena. Now Breeziar, Karan are under that tier 2 tower. KTA barely survives in the dive. It's massive. Ends up resulting in a 1-for-1 trade. Only one hero on each side dies somehow. But yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't mid for a 5.
Yeah, certainly a very good dive for Apesimps. They pick up the Zeus, who was having quite the Dota game right there.
If anything, though, that's the best that possibly could have happened for Sheesh. Their Mars didn't have DP up, and they had 3 heroes get extremely low.
Inspector happened to be right nearby to simply get a kill with a dagger and have literally 0 other contribution to the fight, but still pick up plus 200 gold almost. Speaking of the Mars, he is simply stuck up in the top lane, chilling by himself, has the arena and 4 points in Spear. So he is holding that T1 tower alive for the time being, making space for his team to farm elsewhere. Speaking of elsewhere, Zeus and Spectre are both pushing in these lanes. It seems like Sheesh are farming a little more of the map right now. Am I incorrect with assessing that?
Yeah, I'd say they probably are.
We're seeing once again a fight appears to be blossoming in the mid lane. We saw Breezy R was gone on, but there was no kill, so I guess nobody dies in the very end. Teddy, though, has arrived. We're now seeing about 7 heroes in the mid lane. Inspector can't arrive with Haunt as well if they want to make that number get a little bit higher. Looks like, though, it's once again back to farming. KTA is invading, looking for DOS. Actually, Teddy's there nearby as well. There is no Blink. But Radiant are scared of the Mars. Arena is quite the spell right now, and DOS does not have Sunder skilled. So it is Sheesh who grab the Radiant Tri-Camp side stack. They will scout out the Tri-Camps that's being stacked as well, but they do not have the means to clear that one quite yet. Speaking of Apesimps, they are top lane S4. They have the minute 10 seed units. Perhaps they want that tower. Karan is in that dragon form. But in comes Malefic, and there's 2 heroes coming from behind as well, that being KTA and Teddy. They stun on in. 2 Malefic. They have Laguna there. Down goes the line, but it's a trade for Skater. Now in comes that Haunt. We buy back on the line. Sheesh want to fight. They Haunt on in, looking for the DK. He stuns up on out. It's a 3-man stun from Fun. Now Malefic has a counter stun. They're running once again at the lean. They slow onto Karan. Spear is there. Does not cancel Doss's TP. The Finger comes in. Down goes the DK. They commit a lot to kill the DK, but the T1 tower is barely still alive. They cannot deny that if they want to.
Yeah, they didn't get much gold from that, but they did get a lot of XP. And they did save their tower. Well, I wouldn't even say they saved the tower. They did not save their tower. It is going to die.
You save the gold if they want to deny it. If they actually deny it. They might not deny it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This is definitely not a happy game, though, for Spectre. She is not that farmed. KU does now have that Echo Saber, though, if he wants to buy it out. So that is something of value. But Skater is in the vicinity, wants to ruin Spectre's life, but Spectre is a little bit too fast in the way. Top lane, though, tower finally goes down. They somehow did not deny it. Teddy and Malefic are nearby, but Finger is still on cooldown for 90, so it's probably lack of ability to kill any of these heroes, particularly the DK, who is currently setting up in point right now.
Okay, this is interesting. I know in the previous cast you were chirping an item that is not an item. I want you to click on Breezy and look at his quick buy.
Huh. I'll be. I have never seen Mage Slayer in my life. What does it actually do? I'm serious. What does Mage Slayer actually do? I'm not memeing.
I think whenever you hit someone, they do 30% less magic. They do 35% less magic damage.
Yeah, they are ahead of the KU right now. That man is in danger. Malefic has a stun there on Breezy R. In comes Arena. In comes Thunder God's Wrath, actually. KU survives. Breezy R goes down. They kill Skater as well. Fantastic teamwork from Sheesh. It's just... This is a real team effort right here from Sheesh right now. It's good to watch. It's good TPing in by teammates in this situation.
Oh, you now see the only use of the Dire offlane tower.
Actually, there's so many things we're saying tonight that is being disproven. Like, Mage Slayer is not an item. It's in the quick buy right now. It does a debuff for spell damage, and it gives you magic resistance, apparently, both agility and damage. And they actually use the tier 1 tower to great effect. Oh, dear lord. They're running at League of Legends. He appears to be a little bit too fast, though, and KTA is nearby. But Malefic is in a little bit more danger. Breeziar's on top of him. Karan rotates over. Has no breeze fire. Does not need apparently. Breeziar finishes that kill. Ends up being merely a lion dying rather than the more important Zeus kill I probably wanted. See, I guess it makes sense on Ember, because you can apply the debuff to more than just the Zeus at one Sleight of Fist. Alright then, we're seeing Mage Slayer. I don't have to do my words, this is Mage Slayer, I'm not used to this. We are seeing Skater though is in severe danger. Dagger is used on Skater. He does have Hook though, if you try to hook away. Hooks though right into KU, Shield comes out, Mystical comes out, Zeus comes out. Down goes Skater. That is, what, the 5th death? Yeah, that's the 5th death now on Skater X7. But you know, it happens sometimes on 5 Clockwork.
Yeah, space.
That is indeed space. Yeah, I guess that's true. We're seeing Karan farming. We're seeing Doss at his happy place to try camp. I'm sure Breeziar's farming mid lane as well. All is well for the Radiant. It feels like Apesimps are happy right now, aren't they?
Yeah, he has 5 deaths, but he's still more farmed than the enemy boss 4. So Blink Dagger is up on DK. They're probably looking for a fight here.
They do not have a smoke actually on the Radiant though, so if they want to do it, have to be a playing without that smoke advantage.
They did
Dire,
just buy one
though.
on the Lina. It's on the way out.
Dire, those use smoke of their own actually. They're smoked on 4. There's a blink on Teddy as well. They want DOS though, they're ignoring mid lane, and they now run to DOS. Hex is there, Finger is there, it is used. And now they will haunt. I think Katie wanted to be there for the experience or something, because that's they're not haunting any of our heroes on that one. They commit every ultimate in the world, but you know what? They killed DOS, I guess it's worth it. Karan though blinks on in to Teddy. Hookshot's there, onto Malefic. Spears there, onto Karan. Down goes Malefic. Breeziar comes on in to help Karan, perhaps. It's merely lying dead for now. Breeziar once again goes on further. Teddy sticks, trying to survive. Laguna's there on Teddy. Income chain's there on both. Teddy goes down. KTA goes down. It's now 3 kills, and Breeziar comes on in looking for League of Legends. That man is alone right now. KU cannot help him. Chains are there. In comes Karan. In comes that Dragon Tail. They're TPing in on Spectre, but that one's a little bit too late. He actually finishes the TP, though. Now he's stunned. Under that tower, Reflection is there. They're running at that man. Breeziar has Chains. Will use them. Mars has bought back. They're TPing in, but down goes KU. Teddy has Spear, but does not hit it on Skater. Only on Breeziar instead. And now they continue to dive. Breeziar's under the tier 2 tower. In comes Karan. Stun on 2 from Malefic. In comes the LSA. In comes the Dragon Slave. Sunder's even there on Karan. Teddy goes down, and what the hell is happening? It's
Save Your Buddy syndrome.
That's not the Save Your Buddy syndrome. That's just like 7 deaths in this. That's not syndrome. That's full on disaster territory.
Yeah. And now he's dead for 40 seconds on Mars. That just feels bad. Like you lose this fight and you're like, damn, that's shitty. And then you realize, oh, my mid laner, who is the most farmed hero on our team, is now dying. I must save him. And then, in order to save him, they TP in the Spectre. Zeus dies, and you're like, oh shit, well, our most farmed hero just died, but now our second most farmed hero is about to die? Well, we can't let that happen either. And then they try and help him, and then he also just dies.
That was
a series of unfortunate events.
That's actually accurate. I was gonna say Clown Fiesta, but we'll go with the was that is that a C.S. Lewis reference or like a C.S. Eliot reference?
A movie. It's a movie.
Oh, I was gonna go with the book series, but okay.
Oh yeah, I guess it is a book. Yeah, I guess the movie was based on the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's Karan. Karan's dead. He's being run down. He's a DK. He's very tanky,
dead?
but he's dead. This team is not helping. If his team TP'd in, maybe, but he's just slowly being run down.
Courier's delivering BKB. He's gonna live. Smile.
It's like a 13-book series, I believe. It's a pretty good series, actually. I read it when I was younger. I want to say T.S. Eliot, actually.
It's a series of unfortunate events.
Okay, it's a series of unfortunate events. Are you happy?
Yes.
Go fuck yourself.
So, off the back of that last fight, DOS has gained himself a sizable net worth advantage.
Yeah.
And he is now working on a Scotty. So while he may only have 1500 HP right now, he is very soon to have a lot more.
That is true.
He actually went for the 20 movement speed over the 16% invasion.
Alright, they move on in. Dive. Yeah, down goes Malefic. Laguna is there. Breezy is there as well, so that man is incredibly dead. You see
I just clicked on Lena. I'm like, did she get the stack? We're still fucking stack.
That'd be, please, Ice Frog, stop adding these stack things. I don't want to see Laguna played stack. Enough stacks.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
There's how many stacks? It's 4 now, right? It's Lion, Pudge, Legion Commander, Silencer, right?
Lark.
Oh, Slark, yes. Permanent agility. It used to be Underlord, but they removed that because...
They
thank the
removed the
Lord.
Clinks one too.
Oh, yeah, that was a temporary thing they had for a while, too. Stop adding. Please please listen to the Irrelevance Tier 4 NA Dotacasters. Stop adding permanent modifiers.
Radiant being scared out of the pit by nothing. Yep.
And
Now the Dire are showing up.
they are smoking, you know. They had seem to have some kind of sixth sense right now. They're getting away. They're like, you know what? We have the advantage. Let's not throw away the advantage and say a Mars Arena into like a 4-man stun from Malefic or something. I don't know. They're playing cautious.
Yeah, the Dire kind of supports are kind of struggling right now. Like, it's 21 minutes. They're still a ways away on this Blink Dagger on Lion, and the Abaddon kind of just has boots and 2 components of a Force Staff.
Hookshot
Oh no,
was used.
that was an Artorius hookshot if I've ever seen one.
Was missed. They actually are hasting over at Malefic. In comes an Arena and Spear onto Breezy R. In comes Finger. Down goes Breezy R. Now in comes the Haunt. They want more. They had 2 Karan, but it's a very hard 2-kill DK. He has Blink and will Blink. So it's actually only Breezy R going down. But I shouldn't say only Breezy R. It's actually a very important kill there on that Ember Spirit. And
Yeah, just an insane amount of burst damage. Really
Yeah.
good play from Teddy, recognizing that he's already used his Sleight of Fist and can't dodge spew. Blinked in and got him.
That's one of those things too, where you can't use the Mage Slayer on the Zeus if the Ember's dead. So a high priority kill now on Ember Spirit apparently.
Yeah. I bet you Breezy just started fucking screaming at Skater after that. That wasn't my fault. That was your fault. You didn't land hook.
Hit your hook, Skater!
But no, that was an Artorius hook shot. Just throw it, misses everything. Yeah, kind of like, yes.
They're searching again, though. They find... No, you had the Manta, dodging that Dragon Tail. Hook was missed, but in comes a Spear. Actually, how did Teddy get there? Teddy went in and just died, apparently. Malefic engages with the Nimbus. Skater is low. Breezy R is very low, but there appears to be lack of damage left on... How's Teddy there, actually? What happened with Teddy in that fight?
I'm not even gonna complain about that hook shot. So Teddy dodged hook shot with Blink Dagger, but he blinked forward to spear Breezy in order to dodge it.
I see. So Teddy went for the big plays and is now dead. I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, I figured they would just disengage when he Manta dodged the DK stun, but I guess they felt strong with the Zeus Eggs, but it wasn't quite enough. I think it's because they didn't have Thunder God's Wrath, otherwise that's just a free kill on Breezy.
It was on cooldown from the last festivities. For that matter, the last time killing Breezy R, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. DOS is almost done this Scotty. About 1,000 gold away.
This is
That is going to be very scary.
Yeah, you mentioned how he's just being so farmed right now. He's once again, you mentioned the Scotty before. He's now very, very close to said Scotty. He is 500 gold away from the Scotty. He'll have it very, very soon. And, well, this is a game DOS can just straight up carry. I could be wrong. They actually are looking for Breezy R bottom lane. Thunder God's Wrath technically kills him, but he ends up dying to neutrals.
What? There wasn't even any neutrals there.
I don't... Maybe he killed the... I don't actually know what happened with the neutrals. All I know is he died to the neutrals. He remned in...
He has the shard, so after he died, the neutral died to his remnant damage over time.
That's actually hilarious.
So there was a neutral.
That is
Although
actually incredibly
they
unfortunate.
walk into the Roche pit after they lose their mid laner.
Yeah, they're just tired of waiting around. They don't want to finish this. This pop Lincoln with the Luna, didn't they? Roshan, though, certainly will go down. Yeah, it is now once again stunned. Doss is in meta. He is hitting. They will finish the Roshan. Aegis will head to Doss.
He's gonna have a full Scotty. He won't have Mant and Meta up, not Mant, but so they'll have to wait a little bit before going in.
Yeah, of course he's in that Manta. He's SNY. Haha. I'm sorry, but it's not that much longer. It's on cooldown though. It's only 100 seconds more cooldown. They'll have a good 3-minute or so window to use the meta, perhaps for a tier 2 tower middle lane, perhaps for the bottom lane towers, perhaps even if you go in a good team fight for side grounds. We'll have to see. If you're Sheeeesh, what's your game plan for the next about 4 or 5 minutes or so? What's the plan to start waiting up the Aegis? What movements do you make? What plan do you have? What do you do here?
You kind of just want to split up and farm. Take a really good fight. Like, for the next, like, minute, you could go if you really wanted to. I don't think they want to, though. I think they want to farm a bit more. They've just now picked up this Blink Dagger on Lion. And they still don't quite have the Force Staff on Abaddon. But they can still take an opportunity fight. There's no meta quite up yet. But other than that, you kind of just want to split the map and farm. Maybe take a big team fight up to try and push high ground. But Spectre always wants to be on the other side of the map right now. However, I'm a little bit distracted. I keep looking at the Ember Spirit. And whenever he uses Phase Boots, it creates like an Ember illusion behind him with his set.
There's a lot of interesting cosmetics. Fun has one of those like super crazy cosmetic ones. The one that Artorius has. You know what I'm referring to, right? It makes all your range auto attacks look like weird.
Well, that's like, isn't that really easy to get in this battle pass?
Is it?
I think so.
Maybe it was hard before the battle pass, but it's easy now.
Yeah, normally it was like 1475 to get that thing, and now I think it's like 125 or something. I don't know the exact number. I can check.
I was gonna say I have like 125. I have 120 battle pass, and I don't have that, so maybe I'm not fancy enough.
Jeez, you know what? Okay, so the phase boost effect that Breezy has is level 455.
He has a 478 battle pass that checks out.
It is the phase effect number 2.
What about the fun auto attack effect though? That's the one I want to know about.
I'm looking for an auto attack effect.
It's actually pretty intense. If you haven't seen it yet. Especially with a hero as long range as Lina.
I guess that must be a different one. So I don't see it anywhere. Oh, wait, no. No, that's level 500.
Alright then, so money needs to be committed for some dank cosmetics we've learned today. It's a fair lesson to learn. So looking at what the Radiant have accomplished with their Aegis, they've gotten one tier 2 tower. They're looking for KU, but KU will get away in time. Hookshot was missed by Skater. They now have a little bit of time left. They have, what, a minute and a half? Yeah, they have a minute and a half left on the Aegis, minute 20 to be precise. And they will get a tier 1 bottom and a tier 2 middle. Perhaps they'll get that tier 2 bottom as well, but that does mean that Sheeesh have bought time to get back into this particular Dota 2 game. They are getting some key items on their heroes, though DOS remains a very big problem.
Yeah, he's now picked up a full BKB after that Scotty. He even has a Titan Sliver. This man cannot be stunned. It is not physically possible.
And between the status resistance and the raw HP and the Aegis and the BKB, yeah, you're pretty much right. Just no point stunning him.
34% status resistance, 66% physical resistance, and 37% magic resistance.
Ooh. They went for Breezy R top lane, but they probably went in with the wrong chain initiation. I think Breezy R saw the projectile from the spectral dagger. He runs it away. I think Malefic's Blink was still on cooldown or something. Couldn't Blink Hex. Either that or the Blink Spear would have been the ideal, or even like Nimbus would probably have been ideal, but they end up not finding the kill there on Breezy R's Ember Spirits.
Man, I'm such a fucking idiot sometimes. I just clicked on the tower and I'm like, I wonder if Scotty reduces the regen of the tower. I'm like, wait, towers have no regen.
I mean, the tier 4s used to have regen, right? They used to, I think?
Oh yeah, I don't think they anymore.
Oh, they definitely don't. Yeah, they definitely do not. But they used to.
Didn't they give just more to the ancient now or something?
Add that or add like armor to tier 4 or something. I don't know, man. That's. We're seeing Skater is in danger. Spear is there. League of Legends is there. Malefic is there. Finger is not used. So down goes to the neutrals, actually. Now Breezy R engaged, so does KU. Down goes Fun. Next there on to Breezy R. Thundergod's Wrath is used. Karan is in BKB. He is heading on in. Fingers there on Breezy R. Breezy R is still alive, though. KTA, Teddy, look dead. Breezy R is juking. Stun is there on Zeus. That man is shielded. Back to Breezy R. He is still juking around. Dies, though, to the Zeus. And now Dire have gotten 3 kills. They have lost, well, only 1 there? And who bought that? Actually, no, nobody was lost in the Dire. They look for Karan as well, but Karan is running away. He will be able to blink away there. Technically, 1 was to the neutrals, but that is still a 3-for-0 in favor of Sheesh there.
It was kind of an awkward engagement. Skater instantly died, and then everyone committed but Das. Das just kind of ran the opposite direction. Didn't want to fight. So him and his team were on 2 different pages there.
I believe the Eves expired in the middle of that fight, so perhaps Dawson knew that and just didn't want to be there. But maybe his team didn't know that. Regardless, though, it's a bit of miscommunication there by the Apesimps, but they are still in a favorable game position. They are up by 10k. They're up by a couple towers, up by a single kill as well, so they're not in a bad spot, but...
And now with Thunder God's Wrath down and Haunt down for a minute, they might go.
They can go, but they don't have that much time to go, and, well, they don't have many places to go either. Perhaps it's simply go into the Shy Camp and grab control here, get these creeps, cut this wave, cut that wave type situation, and start choking map control out, make KU play at the awkward areas of the map right now. They actually are smoking, looking, but they will not find Sheesh are either A, in their base, or B, way the hell down in the bottom lane, on the literal opposite end of the map of Apesimps. Though what is in the exact area of the Apesimps is that outpost, they will certainly grab that while it was due, they will grab that little buddy right over there. So map control will increase, but this actually bottom tier 2 tower is in severe danger. Though, Radiant have a well-timed glyph, will barely keep the tower alive, so Malefic cannot grab that outpost quite yet. At this point, we're just waiting on a second Roshan at this point, right? Is that both teams are waiting on?
I believe so. It can spawn in 2 seconds.
It has been exactly 8 minutes now, so it will be actually a relatively short respawn window. In about the shortest 1/5 of respawns or so, with a 36-second respawn window, so they'll be alive in less than a minute.
Das has completed a full act.
Malefic is going for some kind of crazy play here. Has Finger, will use to kill Fun, perhaps. No, the Mage Slayer! The Mage Slayer debuff! Keeps Fun alive!
The Mage Slayer in the pipe. There's just too much magic resist.
I understand the pipe was there, but I want to say Mage Slayer. I want to justify Mage Slayer existing.
The Mage Slayer kept him alive through the finger, for sure, yeah. The pipe was afterward.
You know, we were doubting Mage Slayer. The chat was doubting Mage Slayer. I'm not even sure if his own team was believing in the Mage Slayer. It actually paid off there. Kept him alive on the Lina. It does mean that with that fortuitous Roshan timer, they will immediately walk on in with Doth, with Karan, with Breezy R even, and they will get that second Aegis, and the cheese, and the shard. Not quite sure where the shard is headed yet, but we'll find out soon. Nimbus is, you see, the Nimbus is there, but Nimbus is instantly gone, and now it's,
I'm assuming a shard on Lina.
Whoa there, Skater actually hooks on in to League of Legends. He is searching for this kill, actually, but it doesn't seem like he'll be able to find it, yeah.
Oh, Shard actually going onto the DK.
That makes sense as well. I mean, it's a nice, happy fireball.
Yeah, but there's an Ags on the Lina. If she gets a Shard, that's just an AoE Laguna Blade.
That is true. That makes sense, actually. Especially with the Aghanim Scepter also there, it will make some sense to give it to Lina, considering Lina's kind of poor, and DK is also kind of poor, but a little less poor.
Tower is under attack.
You know, they've given it to the higher farm priority hero. They want him to be right and ready to go right here, right now, apparently with that fireball for a high ground siege, perhaps. And it could just be high ground time. Thundergod's Wrath is now coming up.
On the Terror Blade.
Ooh, that is huge. Whoever called that one, good awareness to give me that bottle over. Yeah, Breezy bottle's now there on DOS. A good job on that one. We're seeing rotation bottom lane, though. They're not high grounding quite yet. They miss the hook. Breezy comes in. Is there a chains? It's ready. They're going to hold it, probably. They will indeed hold it.
Skater's stuck.
He's just... If also, actually, he can TP technically on KTA, and he will actually TP away in time. Tater's just in the trees right now.
Yeah, it's very hard to turn with that ability.
Is it like reduce your turn rate or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's and I quote, severely limited turn rate during this dive. Because that's true in this case.
Attack.
Looks like Sheeeesh want to capitalize though. They are smoked as 5. It is into the Aegis, but there's a split going on from...
Ron's just walking into it.
Alright, apparently they will just not get caught somehow. They have split up again on Sheesh despite the smoke being used.
This man just walks into the enemy high ground into a 5-man smoke, and they just don't see him. They just back up to their base.
Maybe they felt the aura of Karam, like, man, this guy's just a little bit too strong. He is indeed the Knight of Dragons. I don't want to do this, I'm good. And they immediately head back to hiding in the recesses of their base, while KU is hiding in the recesses of these trees, so it's... yeah.
Yeah,
Not a fun game.
Kron almost has his Ags complete, and that might be a really good way for them to siege high ground, because the Zeus won't be able to harass him as much.
It's one of those things that I'm not sure if they really mind delaying this game. Like, they're just farming so much more of the map. We're seeing anywhere from 3 to 4 members of Sheesh constantly in this base, while KU is just like playing Tree Man Dota, finding whatever can't farm he can with the dagger and the manta.
Yeah,
it's not a fun time.
The Spectre's just getting one lane, and then whenever a lane gets shoved in, Zeus gets it. So the other 3 heroes are practically just getting like passive gold, well, except for the fact that Teddy just yoinked that creep away from League of Legends.
Teddy's doing what he can. You know, he's trying to buy his Vlad's, I guess. Maybe he didn't need that creep out after all. It does mean though that Apesimps will grab their tier 4 neutrals. Sheesh may have to wait a little bit longer for them actually.
Oh god. Look at the item Terrorblade got.
Well then, he is not going to literally ever take damage.
Holy shit. What's his magic resist? Like 50?
It is 40%.
It's 40%. Plus if Ember hits the person that hits. Plus if he has Skater standing near him with a pipe.
Oh, dear.
That man's just never going to die. He's just magic burst. What magic burst?
Evasion, status resist, magic resist, physical resist. Jesus, he's never going to die. He has Terror Wave in the BKB as well. It's just, this man is, even the Invis from Trickster Cloak, he just can't die.
Badger, why did I agree to cast this? This is gonna potentially go to a game 3 and then I'm gonna want to die.
Welcome to the club, buddy. I'm your local chair captain over here. We can go listen to some Avril Lavigne together. It'll be great.
We gotta listen to ABBA. Or the safety dance. Should put that on during the break.
I could, but I won't. I don't like getting my VODs muted, so it will not happen on this fine day. Okay, we're back! It's Dota 2 again! Yay! We're doing it!
Does Men Without Hats have a big enough like profit margin that they can actually copyright shit?
I think it's more the opposite. If you have a small enough margin, you have to copyright shit for your money. You know. Can you name one other Men Wear Hats song not called Safety Dance?
Yeah, I have it on my playlist. I think it's something devil.
See, most people can't do that though. That's part of the problem, right? Is if
Devil Come Round.
if most people cannot name more than one song from Men with Hats, and therefore it would be a difficult time then to acquire money. Therefore, you need to be as litigious as possible to acquire as much money as you can from your one song. That's why like there's all these like one-hit wonder bands sell the rights to their songs to shitty commercials for like pharmaceuticals in the U.S. Obviously, you're in Canada, so you don't get to experience that wonder. But in the U.S., like every like one-hit wonder band sells the rights to their songs to be like dubbed over for some like shitty, like I don't know, anti-clumping medicine or I don't know, antidepressant or something. It's like, hey, yeah, we can get more money from our song. I imagine a Man in the Hats would be a similar situation.
Yeah. Badger would be like, I will pay for your hospital bills, lol. And I'd be like, what hospital bills, Badger? I'm in Canada.
Speaking of Canada, DOS is back. He has returned. We are returning for Dota 2. This is good. We are getting the G's in the chat once again. We have resumed to our current state of affairs. The Aegis timer has 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining. The Zeus is currently high-fiving. Will he complete it? He will not! No! The high-five was failed by Sheeeesh. Miscoordination there on that high-five, Zeus. Not happy.
Meepo can high-five himself.
Meepo,
Arc Warden can.
Arc Warden. Both not in this game, though. We do have a Zeus, who is currently left hanging.
Fun hunting for people in the trees.
He's basically he notices KU is just in the trees constantly. It's like, all right, my trees now. I'm going to make a path for you, so you know it's my territory. I'm marking my territory. You cannot farm your KU. KU, understandably, is now in the bottom lanes, where his trees are unsullied by electric array, so it's fine time for him down there. Seeing though, DOS is literally drawing exactly where KU's going, so they have eyes, or at least minds, on the Terrorblade at this current time.
Looks like Skater might catch someone here.
And he's Rocket Flare there and hook onto Teddy, but in comes look from Malefic, but in comes the Breezy R. They're looking for the Lion, perhaps. In comes Thunder God Wrath, in comes Spear, they're stunning onto Breezy R, but he actually dodges the finger damage! He's still alive! Down goes the Zeus, but he does have buyback. But in comes DOS, in comes Karan. It's just so much damage. KU already used his haunt into the backlines, got no kills with it. Made a fun TP way, but Breezy R is just going on in with the chains. They stun up on the Malik, but in comes the Glyph for the extra damage on the heroes, but it's not enough quite yet. They stun Breezy R once again, he now has no Aegis. Can they kill him? They do! Not DOS though, has that BKB, but might need to run. He is starting to run out of teammates. So Sheeeesh, it was a relatively costly high ground defense, but a defense nonetheless. Actually, it wasn't even that costly. They lost the Zeus buyback. That's not that bad.
Yeah, but it is their entire high ground. So if Zeus dies, the Radiant can just walk up high ground now.
Yeah, that will be a 7-minute window until Zeus has buyback again, so I guess Zeus will have to go from playing in his base to playing in his base, but slightly further away now. Alright, they're not going to play in their base. They're going to smoke on 3, the Zeus, the Abaddon, and the Mars. They're pinging out. But meanwhile, KU heads over to Fun. Is there a TP away in time? Barely. So Fun plays a fire, does not get burnt though, gets away from that one. DOS and Skater head on up. Hookshot is up. In the middle of, oh, Hookshot is missed on KU now. In comes that Terran, but in comes Teddy. Arena's there on 2, Spears are on 2. It's fantastic. Now they rebuke, they dagger. KTA engages. Skater jetpacks over the Mars Arena. DOS once again has to BKB. That was his 8-second BKB on that one. And then now Nimbus, they want to pursue perhaps. Karan though engages onto Malefic. In comes Breezy R. Chains are there. Malefic is low. Malefic will go down to Laguna Blade. Now stun comes out onto DOS. DOS is low. That's the Thunder there onto Fun. Breezy R though chases onto Teddy. is looking for that kill. It's on onto KTA as well. Teddy is low. Teddy is kited. Teddy goes down. Move to KTA. Abaddon has False Promise on cooldown. Sorry, Borrow Time on cooldown. Will die. Now Breezy R engages looking for League of Legends. And barely is not there in time. Zeus barely TPs away. Barely avoids that dieback. And the game will continue.
Yeah, that could have been a straight up game.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where had Zeus die back there, we could be headed to Game 3, but now the high ground defense with a Mars buyback is still tenable. It is still doable. It is still possible. Karan, though, is blinking on and apparently does not care about the defensive powers of Sheeesh. He is simply a big dragon. Correction, now man. But the Racks see no difference. They're not being sieged. The Range Racks are dead. They have to the metas at the tail end of that meta. It'll go down as well. That is a full set of barracks for the side of Apesimps to go in the top lane and get them. Question is, will they force for more? They're bringing in the mid wave, but this could be difficult.
They do have a refresher up on Terrorblade, so they could keep fighting, but he's only at half mana right now.
Well, speaking of luck... Oh, never mind. I was going to say there's a regen rune for DOS, but apparently not. There's a regen rune for the man with a full bottle and a full HP and mana pool.
Trickster Cloak got Spectred. Carries.
Yeah, they're picking up their tier 4s at long last. It's actually been 5 minutes of possibly being able to grab the tier 4s, and they're now just getting them on Sheeesh. They got the cloak on yeah, they have the cloak on Spectre, and then they have a Mentor Horn, a Telescope unclaimed still. So they're still fishing. They still have a tier 4 to claim, actually. It's... I see, they're just not farming that well. They're being forced in their base a lot, and they still have not got the tier 4s yet. And they now get the last one, it's the Ninja Gear.
Yeah, this has gone from an 18k net worth lead to a 27.
And there has been a little bit of engagement in that time, but it's mostly just been, you know, the aforementioned heroes in base here, while Apesimps are farming about here or so.
Actually, opting for a last item Blink Dagger on Terrorblade.
We've seen KU do this a lot, actually. He goes for the Blink into the Swift Blink. He Blink into Terror Wave as a fight tool.
Actually, that's not even the last item. He could sell Dragonlance and get another one.
We've got a lot of options. Might be the play. There's
You can backpack this.
Alright, Spear is there on DOS. They haunt in. They need this kill, but in comes that BKB, and in comes Skater. This could be disaster. Fingers, their Skater still have. They're refreshed as well. They have more spells on TB if they want to use them. Rena still flies, but Radiants are just so strong. They now Remnant on in to Teddy. He will Mentor Harm, but now Remnant comes in. Breezy R is stunned, but he does not die. Karam blings on in, finds Malefic. Malefic will go down. They now head to League of Legends. If he dies, and when he dies, it is a dieback. They head to Abaddon. False Promise is... it's the Terror Wave.
The refreshed Terror Wave.
The refreshed Terror Wave kills KTA. Has 3 kills, 2 have no buyback. And it will take a miracle for Sheeesh to defend this high ground, because DOS, thanks to the Refresher Orb, has meta. And they will head for the throne. They know Zeus, buyback, cooldown for 2 whole minutes. The glyph is there, and Abaddon will buy it back, but this is the defense of Dreams. The 3v5, Breezy R is bashed. The Remnants, though, on to KT. He's buying space for the throne to die, it appears. Karam blinks on in, stuns on to KU. LSA comes in, stuns on to 2 of them, actually. Now, in comes Arena. Breezy R is inside. Now he's going to be outside quite soon. He's outside the arena. T4-1 dies. They have the other tier 4. It's being sieged by the meta still. It will go down. Now, KTA is trying to buy some time. He's doing what he can. Teddy blinks in spears, but DOS is in that BKB. Throne, half HP. KTA, they're all trying to focus DOS, but he just has so much armor. Throne dies. Apesimps, after 45 long-fought minutes, claim Game 2. And we'll be going to Game 3.
Just ignore the fact that I didn't have to say anything, because that was great, because my Discord disconnected me.
It did?
Yeah, in the middle of that ending fight, I'm just sitting there like, this is great, I can see the game, but I have no idea what Badger's saying, but it doesn't matter, because I don't need to say anything. It's a team fight.
That's the good part. Having a play-by-play caster just does his job correctly. It's just words, team fight, abilities, structures. Fucking say words. Sorry, so you have the floor, Artorius. What do you want to break down right now?
I was right and you were wrong.
About who's going to win the game off the draft alone? Yeah, I thought Sheeesh had what it took to beat the TB. I was wrong. Are you happy?
I think they had what it took to beat the TB. The problem is there was 4 other heroes in the game.
Also true. There are indeed 5 heroes on a Dota team, and they use all 5 to great effect. There, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Basically, I think what it almost came down to was they were just able to choke out the map. Like the Radiant were able to choke out the Dire out of the map. The Ember was able to play super active, and they didn't get a blink fast enough on the Lion to like stop him from doing so. So he just got to freely run around, and he did pay for it a couple times. Due to Teddy's blink dagger. But until Lion picked up that blink, they weren't really able to just catch this Ember consistently without him making a misplay or a misstep. And by then it was too late. They were just too farmed. There wasn't really space for them to farm on the supports, so they got a little bit behind. So then whatever farm they could get just went to the 1 and 2, and the odd time to the 3. They fell behind heavily because of it. So it was just slow, methodical win.
Yeah, it was good on Apesimps. They got the win they needed. Come join my comfy little broadcast channel, buddy. Come on in. We got a game 3 ahead of us.
Well, let me create a new caster channel.
Oh.
There we go.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. We are now waiting on game 3. I'll ask you the same question I asked about Apesimps game 1. If you're Sheeesh, what adjustments do you need to make going into game 3?
I think you can't pick Zeus unless it's a 24 pick. There was already a hero in the game capable of jumping on top of you in the Clockwork, and while the Clockwork found Zeus once or twice, it never really resulted in him dying. But this Ember is just able to jump him, and he kind of picked up this Blink Dagger as like a defensive item against the Ember. But the problem was with that Ember Shard, Ember can throw a Remnant at you, and it instantly cancels your Blink with that damage over time.
Alright, I'm gonna, we are being joined now. Oh god. Alright, we're being joined now by DOS. Hello, DOS.
What's up, Badgers? Art? Hope you guys are still awake after that one.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still awake. I'm not sure about Artorius over here, but I'm still
That was
awake.
fucking a snooze fest. I'm looking at the game stats here. Like, I had 11k damage. That's hilarious.
I mean, you had more building damage than hero damage.
They just ran away the entire game. They're just like fucking hiding in their base.
It's game 3. It's the deciding game.
Yes.
You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Have you made the lobby settings correct? Have you marked the wins for both teams?
Mark the wins. I marked it 1-1. It's ticketed.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You'll love to see it as a caster.
You guys have any questions for me on that game? On the series?
Artorius, you want to ask the questions?
I don't know. Not a lot happened that game.
Alright, then I'll ask the question. What's your thoughts on the Mage Slayer?
I think it was pretty cool. I mean, I would have actually liked the Mage Slayer against the Leshrac game 1. That would have been like I saw a post somewhere that says like Mage Slayer is actually good against frontline magic damage heroes like Sand King, like Leshrac. I don't think it's very good against those backline magic heroes because you're not really hitting. Like it doesn't, you're not getting the full effect.
It saved Lena.
Maybe that's pretty cool.
It definitely did. We noticed it.
We probably should have had an Aeon Disc that game though.
Yeah, there was no way on this. There was actually a Manta that game. Badger freaks out whenever somebody buys Saint and Yasha.
Okay, I just like Manta as an item. I think Manta is a cool item. I don't like SNY. I think it's good. I understand why people buy it. I think it's boring. I think Manta is one of the highest skill ceiling items in Dota, while SNY is one of the lowest. It's a passive.
I have a question. How many times did somebody flame Skater when he missed hookshot?
Yeah, there was a lot of like shake my head moments when we're like, especially when like it's like Abaddon and then he used like fucking. Well, there's a couple of really grief moments, but like, when he was just like, there's this guy. You know, the only way he can escape is if he just TPs, and then Skater will use like rocket, like use his kit. And it's like, okay, this guy can just TP now. It was a lot. It was a lot. Breezy especially. He's like Skater, just skater, skater. And then, then the guy TPs out. You know, like what the fuck.
Artorius called it. He actually called it.
The other question is, you had Satanic in your quick buy, and then you switched it to Refresher.
Yeah.
You bought the Refresher, and then you queued up Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
What was the thought process?
So I was like, man, like I'm having trouble sustaining in these fights, right? Start the game. I'm having trouble sustaining in these fights. So I was like, okay, Satanic, that's pretty good. And then we had like a fight. I was like, okay, but Satanic's actually not going to be that good because like chances are I'm just going to die. So I was like, I really need BKB uptime, and I figured that my like Ags ult, whatever that one's called, the one that sends the AoE
Terror Wave.
Terror Wave. I was like, that's probably our best team fight ability, like, out of all of our spells. So I was like, okay, let's get double the BKB, double meta, double Terror Wave, and that's pretty pog. And I was just gonna backpack that. And then I was like, okay, now I'm actually having like damage issues in fights. Like people are just running away from me. So I figured that like I would get initiated on, or there's a fight break out, and then like everybody would leave me alone because I'm literally double Terror Waving, and then I could like Swift Blink on top of somebody and smack him to death.
Very cool.
And I think the Terror Wave actually, like, I think that like the Refresher won us the last team fight. I'm pretty sure, at least like made sure that I survived throughout it because I have two BKBs.
The first Terror Wave and the second BKB charge really helped you guys win the fight, and then the second Terror Wave charge pretty much just secured their defeat because it killed Abaddon.
So that was pretty good. And I figured that Spectre's not going to build that's it's a huge AoE CC. So like Spectre's going to get fucked up in that. Like she's not going to build BKB, so it's going to be like a lot of disable, and I can just kind of protect my backline. That's kind of what I was thinking.
That's what, Badger? You can't Manta dodge it.
No comment. Dolls,
Maybe they should have went Saint and Yasha.
Do you have any last words to say before you return to your team?
I hope this game's more exciting than the second one, even if it's like the first. But you know, hopefully we win.
All right then. See you, Dolls.
Maybe I'll get the gyro this game. I kind of want the gyro.
I don't think you should have said that on stream, but okay.
Well, who's what? Oh, there's stream sniping. Fuck them.
All right. Good luck, Dos. We'll see you later.
Toodles.
Perhaps.
See it.
All right, then we are back to Dota 2. I'm gonna grab some more water and whatnot. I will see you soon, buddy.
Okay. Go back for the hoodwink. They're just going to recreate Game 1 draft without the Sand King. The Winter Wyvern, Pog. Skater Winter Wyvern. But Bulljax, he was going Swift Blink. He just didn't have time. Alright, so we see in the past 2 games, Apesimps don't have a lot of teamfight abilities. Now they pick Winter Wyvern and Mars. complete change in strategy. Just all out team fight. Also, Winter Wyvern heal plus Mars. It's ridiculous. Because he throws both of his spells, gets gone on, takes a shitload of damage, you heal him, and then by the time this heal's done, his spells are just about to come off cooldown. Sheeesh, go for the DK. I feel like DK is hard to play into Winter Wyvern though. Long range auto attack can cancel a blink.
Time is it?
Random Splinter
Jesus.
Blast can cancel a blink. You blink in on someone, they can always just cold embrace them. In worst case scenario, they just ult you, and the target you got on does not care anymore. And it does damage over time on the Wyvern Q. That burns health. So that one's also pretty good against DK.
I am back.
Hello, back. I'm dead.
Oh, finally, my dad's returned. Nice.
Did he bring back the bagged milk?
Go screw yourself. For those who are just joining us, though, who are wondering what the stakes are, they're on your screen, right? Well, there they are. It's on the screen right now. The stakes, the winner of this game, it is now a 1-1 tie. The winner of this game will go to winners finals. They'll play the winner of Nearly Tilted and Nebula, which will be on Monday night. The loser of this series goes on the lower bracket to play the winner of Roll Swap versus Clankers and the Guamans, which I believe is Tuesday night, so should be a fun time there. Looking over at the draft, though, so far, what do you see, Artorius?
Seconds remaining.
I see the opposite team went for the team fight, and the other team who has been going the team fight went for the pick-off.
Nice. I'm gonna need you to carry me through this draft. I'm actually quite hungry. I'm eating some food.
Okay.
I'm kind of just muting my mic whenever you're talking.
I was gonna go get snacks, but I guess I'll talk through the draft and then
you could do that during the team fights. Don't worry. You just grab snacks during the team fights.
I'll just leave when the game starts to go play Monster Hunter. Alright, so they ban out the Clockwork 5. They ban out the 4 Lena. They ban out the Terrorblades. And on the flip side, they ban out the Leshrac again. And this time they ban out the Spectre. Spectre, obviously, very good hero into Winter Wyvern. Surprised they banned the Clockwork, though, because I'm assuming this is a 5 Wyvern. I guess it might be a 4 Wyvern. Surprised there's been this much reserve time. Okay, so they ban out the PL. Apparently they don't trust their Wyvern to ult the real PL. Because it's super easy. The illusions are blue. Just click on the hero portrait. Click Alt and then click on the PL hero portrait. That's how I heal my PL. Why can't you just alt them the same way? Obviously, PL good against Mars.
It's one of those things where sometimes you want to get a player off their comfort zone. We're at the point now where it's a lot of KU's preferred heroes are banned, and as expected, Das, who wanted to play Gyro, is now playing Gyro. He will have a turn at Gyro. It was picked in game 1 by Sheeeesh. KU played it. They kind of rolled. Obviously, if the same thing holds with the Gyro being reversed this time.
Yeah, Gyro's obviously very good into... I guess never mind. He is not very good into DK and lane if he goes the same build where you max the Flax Cannon, because Flax, yes, that's what it's called. Because you won't have Rocket Barrage, which is kind of the counter to DK and lane a little bit. However, it pairs really well with the Winter Wyvern and the Mars. Winter Wyvern obviously a very good save for Gyrocopter. And can pump in a lot of damage into the Mars arena.
Alright, we have done it. We have finished the brisket sandwich. I am back to save words, much to your delight.
I don't want to hear your voice.
Okay. you want to talk for the rest of the cast? I'll do camera work. You can talk for the rest of the cast. I'll you Artorius.
No, I just won't say anything until you get triggered and start saying something.
That actually would work. That would work immensely well. I would last about maybe 20 seconds before I was in like, the dead air! I can't let the dead air happen! No! I must say words!
Whenever you ask me a question, you make a statement, I just say yeah, and there's just dead air for like 8 seconds, and then Badger's like, so anyways, since there's dead air, I'm going to randomly start saying words until I can think of something competent to say.
Listen, ignore the man behind the curtain. You're giving away my trade secrets. Yeah, it's pretty much that's on point though. That's exactly accurate.
Right, so they picked 4 times.
That is one of Fun's signature heroes. He is quite the good tiny 4 player. Makes a lot of sense. Should be pretty good this game. You know, it's not the greatest tiny game considering the amount of HP on some of these heroes, but you know what? If you toss a hero into a bad position, could be quite good with that with the Mars team fight and the Wyvern team fight. It could be hard for Radiant heroes to maneuver in this game. Radiant though, grab Luna. Obviously one of the preferred carries of the meta. Especially in a game where heroes like, say, TB and Spectre and PL are all banned. So it should be interesting to see how Luna ends up doing here. Should be a pretty good Luna game though, right?
I have one complaint about Radiant's draft so far.
What will that be?
Is they have nothing to put into a Wyvern heal. If Wyvern heals someone, it is practically a pseudo save, like almost entirely, because they don't have any damage.
Let's think. We got Loosen Beam. We got Fireball on DK with a shard, and then we have... Yeah, they're not killing anybody. They're literally never killing a hero in Cold Embrace. Can Sharpshooter go through Cold Embrace?
Yeah, but if you think about it, Cold Embrace is going to heal the same amount of Sharpshooter.
Well, Sharpshooter's faster though, right?
Well, no, you'd have to start charging it up.
Good point, good point. These are good counterpoints.
So by the time you get it to the max damage, they're already going to be healed the max damage. So I guess you could completely remove the Wyvern heal, but if you buy the shard, it's on like a, I think, 6 or 8 second downtime. So you use an alt to counter a 6-second CD spell. I know it's not 6-second CD, but 6-second downtime.
I was gonna say Sharpshooter is like a 6-second downtime too. It's fine. It's like a 60-second cooldown ultimate. It's not very long.
Yeah, but if you drop that heal on Gyrocopter and he has an Hags, he'll keep shooting you.
Oh dear. I am very concerned now for the side of Sheeeesh. This draft is It's got one Winter Wyvern shaped hole in it, and Winter Wyvern was a 6 pick, so they should have been aware this is coming.
This is the problem with constantly abandoning Ancient Apparition, is it just leaves Wyvern open. And the best counter to Wyvern right now is AA, because Wyvern's best spell is the heal.
All I gotta say is end this patch, please. Spare us all from this miserable fetch.
But I love Wyvern.
But does Wyvern love you?
Probably not.
Alright
Go
then.
for the Invoker.
The penultimate pick has been selected. It is in. Like I said, is one counter to the Wyvern. Just Sunstrike the Cold Embrace hero, stick in a Meteor and a Deafening Blast while you're at it. So that's a lot of options.
Hey, Badger, you know what hero would counter 4 out of 5 heroes on the team?
Is it Viper again?
Viper.
This time the Viper's banned, so there is no Viper this time around. It will have to be.
I bet you Breezy was like, "Damn, we should ban Viper. We have a Winter Wyvern and a Mars." Smile, so that he wouldn't have to play it.
That'd be some next level thinking there. In that case, it's one way to avoid playing Viper mid is just get your team to ban Viper mid. What does Breezy play? That's a lot of his good heroes are banned right now. This could be
Might
interesting
be
one.
Void.
Good call. I was thinking I was gonna go start pontificating. Like, hey, maybe spirits, Storm Spirit, Void Spirit, but it ends up being the Void Spirit. A hero we have been seeing less of recently with this as the patch has progressed. Still, it's a relatively alright middle lane hero. What are your thoughts though on these 2 drafts as a whole? Is the Wyvern simply too much for Sheeesh to overcome? What are your thoughts?
I think this Invoker should be able to pump out enough damage to the. So, the problem I see it is, if you look at it, Invoker has enough damage to counter the Wyvern heal. The problem is, you need to pump enough of that damage into the person to get them low enough to the point that Wyvern needs to heal them. So you need to have a bunch of damage coming from somebody else, and it's not coming from DK, and it's not coming from KTA on the Abaddon. So you're relying on your Luna and your Hoodwink to do enough damage to the point that the Invoker can blow them up through the Wyvern heal. Because if you look at it, they don't have any burst damage other than Sunstrike or Hoodwink ulti. So it's not like Skater's just gonna be like, fumbling with his keyboard and not press heal.
Right. What if he goes Ags on Lunar? Is that too far-fetched?
I mean, but then you can just buy a Glimmer Cape on Wyvern and just heal and Glimmer the target.
That is true.
I remember watching a game. The reason why I ever started playing Wyvern was I watched Kuroki play Wyvern, and he got Blink and Glimmer. And this was before Holy Locket was a thing. And he would just heal Miracle every time and just Glimmer Cape him. And it's just he takes 40% or 45% less magic damage while being healed and immune to physical damage.
I honestly thought you were going to reference a very similar situation with Kuroki and Avos back in Navi. It was once again Kuroki Wyvern did the exact same. I don't think Glimmer was in the game yet, but it was the exact same idea, which is save Avos. Avos was running and like, I did a video about it. I'll find out on YouTube later. I'll link it to you after the series. But
all right.
What is more important though is if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 3 of Apesimps and Sheeesh. 1 game 1, quickly in dominant fashion. Apesimps 1 game 2, slowly, but also in dominant fashion. We are now here, though, for game number 3. It is winner take all. The winner makes top 3. Loser goes to losers. I am Badger. I am joined by Artorius. You ready for game 3?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, that's one more word than usual. Perfect. Unfortunately, though, it is as always the worst time to pause. We are paused literally at the fountain. We have very little information to play with, though. League of Legends has returned to Dota. Perhaps we'll get a G. Perhaps we'll get some Dota 2 on our hands. You never know. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. Maybe not.
I'm going to get food.
Go
Good
for
luck.
it. I'll be here. What we do have on our hands, though, is it's going to be a bit of a farm war between Luna and Gyrocopter. Both these heroes are these sort of split damage carries who want to flash farm. It is a very similar story. We're seeing DOS already has that Quelling Blade in his inventory. KU, on the flip side, has his in quick buy. Both of them know what time it is. It's creep hitting time. From minute 0 until minute the game is won or lost. So it's going to be fun seeing who hits their timing window first and who can play the fights better. As Artorius mentioned, it's going to be a very hard game for Radiant to play. KU's probably trying to figure out right now, like, what do I actually buy to stop that? Perhaps it is a Scotty on the Luna just to reduce the regen. Could be an option. That's a nice little reduction. It's not that big, you know, it's 40% helps. You might as well stick it on there. On the flip side, though, what I want to look at is fun playing Tiny. Now, Tiny on fun has been really good this season of Laz. He's played it, I believe, 3 or 4 other times. It's been genuinely impressive. He seems to make these extremely aggressive plays often, find the kills, find the plays, make it very hard for players to play, because you might just see him, like, say, the first wave of a tier 2 tower siege, just blink on in, blindly, look for the toss play, and more often than not, it actually succeeds, so it could be an X factor looking at that Tiny there. And of course, the always X factor with look at is Breezy R. Breezy R is a real X factor player. He can really win or lose you with Dota game more than most other mid laners in this league, in the sense that he will make these crazy dive plays, solo kill an enemy, go off some games, but some games he'll just get solo killed in the lane, he'll dive tower, die diving tower. It's certainly interesting to watch Breezy R in that sense, so there's some fun stuff in terms of things to look at this game. Got a little bit of fun going on in the alt chat. Apparently, Dire don't need fun. I disagree. I think they actually do need fun right now, but perhaps they're looking for Jason instead of fun tonight. Perhaps, you never know, sometimes. We already have a smoke in the inventory of KTA, though, which is interesting. Perhaps they might want to go for some kind of rotational play early, before Void Spirit hits 6. Help League of Legends out this game, get a nice little kill early, get him enabled on that Invoker, get him towards what could be the early Midas. Fast. Hope to see, though, could just be a smoke where it's like, hey, buy smoke, have it in inventory. You never know sometimes. We are, though, back on all the missing players. We are now in to Dota 2. We are ready. Yeah, we are headed on outside the fountain right here, right now. We're once again Radiant side, rotating into the jungle. We've seen both teams, when on the Radiant, have rotated into their jungle heavily. Both teams so far have invaded into the Tri-Camp. Sheeeesh did it game 1. Apesimps did it game 2, and perhaps game 3 will be a similar story. Aggressive plays into their own jungle side. They're once again sitting on this high grounds. And they're waiting. This time, though, it is the Apesimps who decide to go Dire side. They're in their own jungle, headed perhaps to the Radiant side Tri-Camp for this little rune right over here. So it may end up being a 2-for-2 rune exchange with it being Dire grabbing the top side ones and Radiant grabbing the bottom side ones. And that appears to be what will end up happening. Most of these observers actually have not been placed yet. We have the one observer in middle lane. Other than that, it's no obs placed quite yet. Perhaps we're waiting for potential blocking and unblocking situations. It is both teams invading, though. Dire to the Radiant Tri-Camp, Radiant vice versa. There will be nobody found, though, because everybody's at the other team's Tri-Camp, so yeah. It will end up being 2 runes apiece, as previously stated. And the laning phase has begun. Are you back, Artorius?
No.
How long have you been back for?
I'm stealthy.
I've been talking non-stop for no reason.
Yep, I've been back for like 30 seconds.
Of course you were. welcome back. No, it's good to have you back. We have both found food. We are now ready for another game of Defense of the Ancients, number 2.
My food's better.
Probably, yeah. I just had a... What food do you have, actually?
I have a banana chocolate chip muffin homemade by my grandma. And I heated it up for 30 seconds in the microwave, so now the chocolate's melted.
Yeah, you win. I'll give you that one. I had a half-eaten Arby's brisket sandwich, so yeah, you'll definitely win on that one. We are seeing Fun is grabbing the wave, but it's... Is he grabbing another wave now? What is he up to?
He's delaying the wave, forcing the Luna under the tower.
Looks like KU is last sitting under said tower. He's actually dragging it beyond the tower.
They're pulling away. This is some Giga of Brain stuff.
Here it is, there's Karan. The creeps are on a wild and crazy adventure. We see Karan may grab some the KU's grabbing the neutrals. Oh no. This is actually kind of a disaster for the Dire. They've quite literally given KU 3 extra assets by doing this, so it's not what you want playing against the KU Luna's gift this man free fall. Oh, actually they toss KTA under the tower, but there's a lot of creeps under the tower, so that they will tank the tower shots. And now KU is bringing the Dire wave back to the Dire tower. It's unbelievable. What is going on? Interesting. So, 2 water runes. Neither are used by a mid laner. Malefic grabs the top one. DZR went for the bottom one. League of Legends tornadoed him and denied it. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it very often, where neither mid laner gets a water rune. And we are once again seeing some trading in the side lanes, but no kills quite yet. Bottom lane may be a potential kill at some point. They are once again tossing KTA. Actually, the rebuke was missed by Karan. In top lane, we are seeing a Bushwhack and a Dragon Tail on Skater, but he will Arctic Burn over that high ground away from Teddy and from Malefic. So once again, everybody is A-okay. The KU's Courier, never mind. KU's Courier is fine. It's gonna walk on away to the lane now, away from all the danger. Skater is still quite low in this top lane. KU's getting low in the bottom lane, so we could have potentially a kill in either of these lanes quite soon. Or perhaps not. Anything that's jumped off the page so far this laning phase, or just mostly standard stuff here?
Just seems pretty standard. I think the only thing that's happening here is, for some reason, Skater has 7 last hits, and Mars is struggling a little bit in lane.
Yeah. Alright, middle lane, Dissimulate is there from Breezy R, but it's actually in place. League of Legends may go in, but Fun and Malefic are both nearby, so it's... Fun is escorting Breezy R to the water rune. And Malefic once again grabs a water rune, so now a total of 4 water runes have spawned, 1 is went to a mid laner. I don't know why I find that interesting, I just do. Top lane though, Skater has to Arctic Burn away, and Malefic just TPs back to his tier 1 tower. Does not want to have DOS on top of him, even though DOS does not have that rocket barrage. Simply has, right clicks. Yeah, much like last game, it is the new gyro build. It is point in attributes, 1 point holy missile, max flak cannon, farm creeps. They actually are trading top lane, but as happens, they're trading bottom lane as well. Fun and KTA are trading, but once again, nobody dies quite yet. Breezy actually is quite low mid lane. Will dissimulate. He's now in place. The cold snap is there. League Legends may draw first blood. In comes the resonant pulse to get a little bit of HP. He has 2 more hits on the tower, but top lane is where the first blood is drawn. Breezear will salve and survive, but top lane, DOS went down to Teddy and Malefic. Bushwhack, Dragon Tail were used, and DOS went down.
Did you miss it?
I missed it again.
Yikes.
In my defense, I thought mid lane would have first blood. It almost was too.
Imagine the only first blood you catch all game is the one I tell you to look at.
I mean, it's not to imagine it. It happens. It's a funny part too. Is I've been really good about catching kills this series, just not first blood. At least that one I have an excuse where there was a action mid lane that could have been first blood, while simultaneously action top lane led to first blood. Maybe Dawson should have been there. Bottom lane though, KU will go down. Breezear and Karan going in. Breezear had a good rotation there after healing from the fountain after League of Legends tried to kill him. So good job by Breezear doing that. And even Fawn is grabbed in the XP mid lane, so nothing is lost. Everything is maintained in terms of XP there. Yeah, top lane, Dawson is gone. He's in the jungle now.
Yeah.
He no longer wants to be here. Skater did a little bit of stacking.
Tower is under attack.
Now Doss is in the jungle. He'll be flat canning these 2 camps now. It's part of the nice part on Gyro with this new jungle orientation is you can just farm with flat cannon everywhere so easily. Dire side has so many spots as well where there's the triangle here. There's just 2 spots here at the Clawing Blade. There's so many options. We're seeing Doss use it to great effect right now to kill the stack and the hard camp.
Top tower is under attack.
Speaking of jungle, Luna as well is in the jungle.
Radiant structure
She has 3 points in Lunar Blessing though, so that's certainly interesting. It means that we will be very delayed on the Eclipse and even somewhat delayed on the extra points in Moonglaves. We'll have to see how that winds up paying off. Mid lane, Breezear was in a little bit of danger, but he simply steps away from that one.
I think the only thing he was in danger of was losing mana.
Well, mana is very important on Void Spirit, yeah? Mana is life. It's your life force. Teddy, though, on that Dragon Knight, grabbed the top tier 1 with the aid of that minute 5 siege unit, which is still alive, actually. At minute, well, it's now minute 8 and it's still alive, so it's a very value siege unit on that one. This is maximum farm time for Doss right now. He's simply in the jungle, killing stacks. He's at 53 last hits now, but that's also pretty even with Luna, who's once again 55 last hits. She too is clearing out these stacked camps at the tri-camp area. Does Dire have any tri-camp stacks? They do not, actually. That'll be interesting to see what ends up happening there. Top lane though, Bushwhack is there onto Skater. In comes Dragon Tail. In come the right clicks. Skater has that cold embrace though, so it'll be a little bit longer. Meanwhile, bottom lane, KTA is being gone by Arena. He goes down back to Skater. He's still being gone on. Should go down to Teddy's last hits here. Needs 1 more hit with the corrosive burn. And actually misses the breathe fire, but it will not matter. Skater still goes down. Now in comes Breezear, steps on into Dragon Knight. He has a double damage room, but the Witchback is there from Malefic. Now Teddy TP's away. Breezear already uses his spell, so cannot cancel. Teddy's courier, though, ends up dying to Doss. So, yeah.
Volker's rotating bottom for a gank.
He has a tornado there. He's already has it invoked with the EMP. Seems like he wants some urn charges, perhaps, but not yet.
Void Spirit picks up an early urn and is rushing a Boots of Travel now.
Alright then.
Feel like they want this game to go very late.
And that appears to be the item of the patch, is just buy travels on basically everybody, so you might as well buy it on Breezear's Void Spirit. He'll want them eventually anyways, you might as well do it sooner rather than later, I suppose. KU, though, is very happy. Because Teddy grabbed that T1 tower so early, he's playing in a nice, happy circle all the way over here. There's a lot of space to farm where he's not really that contested. Apesimps do not want to be contesting him. They will once they contest Malefic. Will step on in with Breezy Art to simulate gets that kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, Skater thought he might be in danger, but instead who's in danger is KU. Fawn is running at Batman. Breezy R is nearby, but now in comes KTA to protect his Luna. And Luna will be fine. Skater will get by Cold Snap and EMP as that happens, but there's simply a little bit of a lack of damage for now. So no kill. They step in with Breezy R. The remnant is missed though. Interesting.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, looking at Dire, they're once again sending Fun over to the Tri-Camp. KTA is nearby though, and Fun is alone, so that will be no kill. Meanwhile, we will see a kill at bottom lane on Teddy. Breezy R is there. Arena was committed. Actually, KTA is trying to save though. Simlay is in. Teddy is in that second form now. In comes EMP. In comes Splinter Blast. And it's Dire who on the run. Sharpshooter is there onto Skater. Actually, there's no mana for the Winter's Curse. Now Tornado comes in onto Breezy R. Is low. Spear is there on KTA. KTA will go down to Simlay damage. It's done up onto Breezy R. Breezy R goes down. They head to Karan, who with the Phase Boots and the Wand should be fine. Bushwhack and Acorn Shot are there. But there simply is a lack of follow-up damage. But for Sheeeesh, what a fantastic turn.
Yeah, they saw Breezy coming, but Teddy couldn't get out in time, but it still allowed them to TP in.
If anything, it's good that he didn't leave. It ended up being a fantastic fight for them.
Yeah.
Interesting. We are in a situation now, though, where it almost seems like the Dire are grouped to smoke as 3, but they just don't have a smoke right now. They have their cooldowns in 21 seconds with the Mars Arena, but they're just... I guess they're going for this bot T1 instead, but Teddy is quite the man to defend it. That's for damn sure. Alright, they move to Teddy. Splinter Blast is there. Rebuke is there, but now in come the TPs of the Radiance. They are hitting. Avalanche is there, but in comes that shield. Now in comes Malefic, has that pushback, hits it onto Karan. Sharpshooter finishes that man. They now toss KTA into Skater. Actually, might not be good for Skater. He's now silenced. Teddy has Tail up. Yeah, it is there. Onto the Wyvern. Fun may try to save. Has toss up and one again. Will toss up onto Teddy. The Skater's already dead. Sunstrike was there on his dead body. But even though Dire were the ones to initiate the fight onto Teddy, it is Teddy and company who grab 2 kills.
Yeah, I think you just need to stop going on DK. See big tanky strength hero, don't go on him.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That's the problem, though. There's just so many tanky strength heroes. Not in this game, but that's just... There's just so many of them. It will head to Breezy R. This one will be a little bit difficult. Remnant is there on Teddy. Skater has TP'd in, has that curse still. If he wants to commit it perhaps onto somebody. Pump faked it a little bit, but did not end up falling through on that one. And now head to Skater. Bushwhack is missed though, so he'll be fine for the time being. Now in comes Avalanche, hits Malefic a little bit, but there is no fall for now. Karan actually was slowed by the ghost creep, so that's not very fun for Karan. But no harm, no foul.
Is under attack.
There is the full ags complete on the gyrocopter now, and the Luna is about 1,000 gold away from their Manta.
We're at the point now where, I mean, Luna has been doing very good in farm. KU is out farming DOS. He's about 700 gold ahead, actually. Of course, though, DOS will begin to accelerate his farm with that Ags, as you mentioned. But the same could be true with the Luna Manta, which coming out in, as you mentioned, 1,000 gold.
Dire's top
Alright, Fun is going for some wild and crazy plays right now. Radiant, though, ping at his location. They appear to know what's going on. Bottom lane, Karan is there, pushing that tower, meanwhile. Malefic is the defender. Bushwhack was used and not hit. Now Rena is committed. Breeziar TP's in, but so do Sheeesh. The Remnant in, onto Malefic. He goes down. KTA arrives. He's alone for the time being. The curse is there. On to Teddy. That man's quite literally a Dragon Knight. Spear is there. KTA shields. The KTA is low. Borrow time is popped. And now Breeziar with the double damage looks for more. Toss and Avalanche layer on Teddy. Teddy goes down. Sunstrike comes in. Misses. League of Legends has arrived. So is KU actually. Eclipse is used. He's trying to do damage. But instead it's KTA who dies. That Breeziar finally dies. But they move to KU. It's a 4v2. Disarms there on 3. Fantastic. Definitely. Last problem is Avalanche toss once again there on KU. KU goes down. And now it's Malefic who's respawned into the fight. Has rejoined the fight. Has that Bushback. Has Acorn shot. Hits it on 2. Down goes Karan. They had 2 DOS. But DOS still has half HP thanks to that cold embrace. Malefic, though, is scurrying, still searching, but it's on 2 Fun. Avalanche toss is there on 2 Malefic. He is low, but still alive. And DOS did not get the missile off in time to pursue that one. The T1 tower is still alive, but League of Legends may be in danger. The burn is there. League of Legends on an Invoker feels it. He's not dead yet, but now in comes Tiny, in comes DOS, missile is there, in comes Avalanche, in comes Ghostlock. Is there detection? No, there is not. So League of Legends actually survives there miraculously. But the T1 tower, not so. In the fight, still ended up being an absolute disaster for the side of Sheeesh.
Dire are scanning.
It's great. Every single time my Discord has disconnected me tonight. Been at the perfect time where I don't need to talk.
Speaking of middle lane, Teddy is being gone on, but well, there's an Abaddon, so Teddy is completely fine. He's also a DK, so there's basically no damage you can put onto the Dragon Knight. Seems like, though, we saw a combination of Save Your Buddy Syndrome and over-defending a team. Oh, never mind, they go on to DOS. They stun that man. Temperature comes in. DOS is so low, but in comes a toss from Fun onto Skater. DOS remains alive. Now in comes Breeziar, steps in, Remnants onto Teddy, but the fight appears to be ending now. But going back to that Tier 1 Siege bottom, that scuffle we'll call it, seems like Sheeesh overcommitted to it. Is that a correct assessment to make or no?
Yeah, I think they just realized, hey, we got a DK getting gone on again, let's just TP in. It's like, okay, the DK might not die if you TP in, sure. But you've already used everything. Like, they didn't have DK form or anything. So they couldn't really actually take a fight there anymore.
Alright then, it is Roshan time apparently. Feels a slight bit early, but you know what? They have the Abaddon, they have the Luna. They head on it anyways. It's down to half HP. Dire, do they know? They apparently do not. They have no vision of the pits. They see no hero, so they should be a little bit concerned, but the wave's actually in a good spot. Mid wave is pushed in, top wave's in an alright spot as well. Which means Sheeesh grab minute 18 Roshan. Aegis goes to KU there on that Luna. So you know what? That's actually fine apparently.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This is interesting. Karan has that blink. Yeah, just revealed it right away though, pushing on the top wave. Did not want to smoke with his team. Simply wanted to show the blink dagger, push out the lane, and just say, you know what? I'm playing with the team.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They've also
By
picked
pushing
up
the lane.
a, I think he's picked up the blink on Tiny.
I'm looking for the tiny courier right now.
What did he buy? Yeah, it's on the courier, he just hasn't given it to himself yet.
Where is there? There's tiny courier. It's certainly on the way right now. So that's 2 big blinks for the Dire, one on the Tiny, one on the Mars. Certainly allows them to fight with more ease, get some better engagements on their hands.
Tower is under attack.
2 teams though, both appear to be invading the opposing side jungle. Dire are set up in the Radiant jungle, and once again, Radiant vice versa in the Dire jungle, but the Radiant are the ones who are pushing the top Tier 2 tower. It's already down to below half HP, and the defense appears to be non-existent. Mid lane appears to be the trade, but now Radiant TPing into that one. In comes Malefic, in comes Teddy. They're even TPing, I believe that's KU actually. This could be a fantastic fight. They now toss DOS, but they break Fun. They head to the Tiny.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright. Double damage is there on DOS. Remnant is used onto Teddy. They blink on in with the spear in the arena. It's a pretty good arena, actually. They had to leave in the background to not kill that man, but now Malphite's still in that arena. Spear comes in. Down goes Malphite. Eclipse, though, is used. Down goes Karan. KU is half HP, but as Aegis looks for more. Heads onto DOS. Curse is there onto KU. But as happens, Breezy R dives tower. Finds the Legend. Now Avalanche tosses there onto Luna. That Aegis is popped. KTA dies, buys back. We're seeing Teddy. Kills Breezy R. Was diving that tower, wanting to go for more kills. And now Radiant and Dire. Both appear to want to buy back, actually, but Fun wants to engage, looking for Teddy. But with no team follow-up, he appears to be content with backing.
That was the decent fight, all things considered, for the Dire. You fight into Aegis, your top tier 2 survives, you get the tier 1 tower, and you trade 2 for 3 plus a buyback. Like, yeah, you killed 2 supports and you lose your mid and your offlaner, but like, you were the Aegis and you technically defended your tower by taking a tower.
It seems like they could have simply been content with the trade there if you're Sheeesh, grab that tier 2 top lane and then grab the outpost. But apparently they didn't want to do that. They wanted to instead defend the tower. And it was ambitious and it did not pay off for them.
Yeah, second time they tried to defend the tower and they kind of just paid for it.
They will now grab the top G2 tower, but the Aegis is now already down, so KU is going to have to start scurrying on away. Probably shouldn't say scurry when there's literally an ability called scurry in this game, but you know what I mean on that one.
Yeah, and he does have the BKB now. DOS opting to not go for a BKB, yet at least. Picks up a Maelstrom to accelerate farm even more. Probably even do a bit of damage to DK. And then he's going for a Scotty, but Breezy might have to be a little bit careful here. He doesn't have any ult charges.
He's simultaneously being a little bit careful and a little bit ballsy as all hell. But you know, he gets away from that one. They actually do not find him. They actually scan, but it's a little bit too late or a little bit off the mark. Regardless, they do not find the Void Spear. Breezy escapes and makes space for his team. His team, once again, are 5-man grouped in the Radiant side jungle. They will smoke on 5. I don't believe Radiant spotted the smoke. I don't believe the lore was long enough, but it's into a Radiant smoke Teddy. Avalanche tosses there. DK certainly will go down. Question is, can Radiant engage? They appear to be content, though, to letting Teddy die this time. DK is down the sidelines for a bit under a minute. Lose their courier, actually, from Karan. Bushback comes in onto the Mars. In comes Sunstrike. In comes Sharpshooter. In comes Arena. Eventually, Malefic knocks us up outside the arena with the Sharpshooter knockback. Problem is DOS, Karan, Breezy R, they're all on Malefic. That man will go down, and now Fawn wants to find KTA, but will not be there in time with the Blink Dagger. It was still on cooldown, so it's only 2 kills. But you know what? 2 kills for nothing is very good for the Apesimps.
No, I don't understand my Discord. It keeps disconnecting me and reconnecting. But it's not my internet, because I stay in game on Dota without lagging.
Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to relocate the server region. Hopefully that works. Alright, I have moved the Discord server region. I moved it from Newark, US East, to US Central. Hopefully that, now that the voice server has escaped New Jersey, hopefully the aura of Jersey will escape as well, sparing you from disconnections. That is the ideal scenario at the very least. Alright, so let's go over what both teams probably should be doing at this point. If you're Sheeesh, what's the game plan? How do you approach, let's say, the next like 5 to 10 minutes at this point?
I feel like your Luna's kind of hit her power spike. She has a crit stick, she has a BKB, she has a Dragonlance, she has a Manta. You kind of just want the next Aegis and go shove towers again before this Gyrocopter gets big, but the problem is he's now picked up a Scotty. They have their Blink Daggers up. They have their Wyvern, who's almost level 12.
Alright, they double smoke. The smoke's now broke. The Cataclysm on 2 DOS. In comes Eclipse. In comes that Cold Embrace. They're trying to go through, though, with the Eclipse damage. In comes Reverse there on 3. They want to get DOS. DOS is still alive. Now in comes Arena. Hits onto 4, I believe. BKB's there from that Luna. Dire are trying so hard. Malefic goes down. Breezy steps in, steps out. Hoodwink buys back. Wyvern buys back. Tornado's there on DOS. DOS is in severe danger. DOS will go down. As that happens, Teddy tanks some damage, heads on into the high ground. Breezy R goes in with Fun onto Invoker. Invoker, though, is still alive. Now KU hits. In comes Teddy. He kills Fun. They add to Breezy R, and the Lucent Beam finishes that man. The triple kill for KU, and a 4-for-1 overall if you include the two heroes who bought back. In Sheeeesh, well, they find the fight, use that they should probably looking for at this point. Luna was, as you mentioned, at her spike, and they run their face into the wall. That is the dire defense with the cold embrace, but apparently is good enough. They had Force Skater as well. Sharpshooter is there. KU gets a mega kill there. 4 kills in rapid succession. No, I suppose the fourth one was not there for an ultra kill. And at this point, it's potentially high ground time.
It just looked extremely forced from the Dire. They got their gyro out, and they kind of felt bad because they used all their ultimates, and they kept going for kills rather than just accepting that, hey, we got our gyro out, our Wyvern died for it, whatever, let's back.
Instead, though, they lose a tier 2 and a lot of their tier 3 health. Karan comes on, and Rina is there on KU, but KU has that BKB, wheel BKB. It's not up onto Breezy R. Breezy R still had to lose some mana. Fun tosses the creep there onto Karan. Breezy R steps on in Remnants onto Teddy. Call down comes in. Appears as though Teddy maybe a sacrifice. They cancel his TP, they cancel his life as well. But Sheeeesh, unlike earlier in the game, cleanly disengage outside of losing Peppa Teddy.
Yeah, now it's going to be a heavily contested Roshan for the next 4 minutes, probably.
Yeah, man, it'll be up in a minute 15. Both teams don't know that quite yet. Both teams will, I'm sure, find out Roshan's alive soon. Question is, this is the all-important Roshan fight. This could be the entire best of 3 in this Roshan pit in the next 5 or so minutes. So yeah, this is I could probably stick my camera, like, zoom all the way out right here and probably catch all the action for the next 5 minutes. I won't, but still. Top T1 dies. DOS claims it.
We have Void Spirit about halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter, which will be huge in these team fights. The Tiny will have 4 staff soon, which would be another big item. And the Wyvern's getting close to Shard or potentially Blink. Whereas on the flip side, they almost have a BKB finished on DK.
Alright, he blinks on in to Karan. In comes Kata. Toss. She saves Karan for now. Fun. Sacrifice is only for that one. Now Arena comes in. Appears to be a retreating Arena. Sharpshooter hits onto Karan, but they appear to be content. Learning from their lessons. They lose Fun, but they save everybody else. They use some ultimates. But Roshan just respawned. Radiant search for more. They instead search back into the Roshan pit. They go to hit with all 5. In this fight, appears to be impossible for the Dire.
Yeah, there's a ward on the high ground too.
Well, they're in. They're going. This might not go too well. Missile is there on Teddy. Roshan is low. Spear is there. Hits onto the illusion. Now DOS is slowed by Ice Ball. Karan heads into the pit. BKB's there from KU. Roshan goes down. Edith goes to the Luna. Now they stun on up to DOS and to Karan. Sharpshooter comes in. Embrace is there. The curse is there on 3. It's pretty good, but DOS is still in severe danger. In comes Call Down. They slow on 3. Dire. They're grouped as 4. They're stunning. Fun. Re-engages. Aegis popped. Teddy is trying to fight. Is he low on HP? Now KU's full HP has rejoined the fight with that Aghanim shard from the Roshan pit, mainly to go for more, and DOS with the rest of his team are now retreating. KU surges, in comes the spear there onto the Luna, and actually toss Teddy way into the Dire fight. The ulti from Karan, it's the Arena, it's literally zoned to kill Teddy, but Teddy is still alive. Now Tornado onto 3, Breezy R comes on steps and kills KT, looks for Teddy, kills Teddy. Karan though is once again tossed while under that cold embrace. Skater dies for it, and Radiant continue their pursuit. All 3 are being hit by that Acorn shot. Fun dies, but they move to Malefic. Malefic dies. Breezy R is a triple kill. They had 2 KU who has Cheese, who has the Alacrity, will actually use the Cheese preemptively before he gets killed. DOS goes down, move to Karan. Cold Snap is there. Triple kill for KU as well in the fight. And well,
It was going so well again, and then again they get low and they're like, now we want to keep fighting with 300 health, and they just died of Moonglaze that time.
Yeah, they had their chance. It was a good zoning arena, the second arena of the fight by Karan. They could have left at that angle, but they chose to engage a Breezy R from another angle. And they got the backline killed, but the problem is, well, it's a Luna with an Aegis and a Sheeeesh and a BKB, and now a Satanic.
Yeah, they kill the DK, they have an arena on 3, they're like, we can leave, and they don't.
Yeah, Luna, as DOS is putting in the all chat, did 1,934 damage to Gyrocopter. It is looking like a KU game right now.
Although that ice wall in front of the Roche pit, followed up by the tornado to stop the curse, just completely won them the beginnings of that Roche fight. But then they kept going with like nothing in the tank, and they lose the Aegis almost instantly. And they just re-engage again because the Dire used everything to kill the Aegis. And then it was kind of just that even fight. It was kind of looking even maybe Dire favored, and then they just walked back in.
I understand. I'm not sure Breezy R is up to, but I guess it's just usual Breezy R stuff. Ends up surviving this time bottom lane. Puts the urns on himself, but now, what's KU and Sheeesh? They head for that bot T1 tower. It dies now. Oh, like Malavig! Finds a fantastic solo kill practically on the Breezy R. A fantastic bushwhack over the cliff set up by that ward. That is a ward that really paid off there. They find a very important kill on the Void Spirit. He has no buyback. They do not know that yet, but they will look to force it regardless. And it's high ground time. Here we go. Force Spirits are there. Luna is there. But put in that Splinter Blast. Now the back door is gone. Now in comes DK. Stuns onto Skater. It's a big target if they can get him. Clips is there. Down goes Skater. He too has no buyback. Head to DOS. DOS BKBs. He called downs, but he must run to the fountain. And the T3 will be the claims. They will be the spoils. Lift is there. Could be actually what they need. However, the Radiant Wave is once again engaging. This one will not die. T3 is dead. Alacrity is there on that Luna. Down go the Melee Racks. Down go the Ranger Racks. Luna, Satanics, wants to get more. Breezy R will respawn. Now in comes the stun there onto DOS. In comes Toss. Tossing Teddy way away from that fight. Breezy R will step on into 2. Silence on 2. Disappointments on 2, but now must step away again. And Dire attempts to hold. Nearly down. 1 Rax. Remnant is there. Will miss. Bushwhack misses as well. Fun looks to engage. Has Blink and Force Staff up. Can he find a target? No, he cannot. And for Sheeesh, they got what they came for. It is 1 full set of barracks.
Mm-hmm. Well, Luna has picked up that shard. That's a lot more damage that she can dump into this fight.
Yeah, she got it from the Roshan pit. That was the Roshan shard. It's been nice for us, for damn sure. We saw it killing Skater there at the initial fight. Avalanche Toss is there on to Teddy, but he BKBs now. In comes Rita. It's on the 3. In comes Kata. It's a lot of damage. Down goes Karan. DOS is low. He BKBs, but he's already running in the BKB. Skater's a target. Tries to curse, but he dies. Buyback comes in from Karan and from Skater. The tornado on DOS. DOS has no buyback, though. He will go down. In comes Curse. It's only on 2. Neither will die. And Apesimps are beginning to crumble. Alacrity. It's once again on KU. Crimson Guard is used. But the high ground is once again in severe danger. Can they spear KU? Perhaps somewhere dangerous. They bring a toss onto Teddy. He's under tier 4s actually. Problem is, Teddy goes down, but Radiant are still just so strong. The Moonglaze are bouncing as 2 full sets of barracks, and KU hits the tier 4s now. He just keeps on fighting. Tier 4, it's low. It goes down. DOS is still dead for 50. There's buyback even from the DK. They want to end the game right here, right now. Sharpshooter comes in on Karan. Karan is low. The Lucent Beam kills him. He has a dieback now. He cannot return. Breezy R tries to come on in, stepping into the Hoodwink. Hoodwink is low. Steps in. Down goes Hoodwink. No, he's not. And it's the Eclipse from KU. He's BKB'd. He's on the throne. And the GG will get called. And Sheeesh, for the second time this playoffs, have won in a 2-1 fashion. And they'll be going to the Winners Bracket Finals.
I guess moral of the story is don't pick team fight.
Yeah, it's the lesson. Just don't pick team fight.
The 2 out of the 3 games, the team fight lineup lost.
Yes, a very large sample size of 2.
The 3? Because the first game, the team fight won.
So sample size of 3. Ocean doesn't even hold over in all 3. Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
You have the floor though. After this full-on best of 3, what do you have to tell us, Artorius?
I don't know, because game 1 and 3 contradicted each other.
Elaborate. Explain explain the contradiction. What was the divergence there?
Game 1, the gyro just kind of shat on the Luna. In game 2, the Luna shat, and game 3, the Luna shat on the gyro.
Yeah. Perhaps it was simply the way they played around the Luna this game that allowed them to succeed the way they did. They surprisingly had what it took to go through the cold embrace. That was our big concern: is how do the Radiants deal with cold embrace? Apparently, they just didn't care.
They didn't go through the cold embrace. They just killed them after the cold embrace.
Exactly, they just didn't care. It was like, all right, cold embrace, cool. We'll just go and kill somebody else now. That's fine. Who cares? That appeared to be the way to do it, and well, it worked out. They pick up the very important Game 2 win. Or the Game 3 win. If you had to give an MVP for the entire series, who would you give it to?
Oh, let me go back. I'm not even on the screen anymore. I'd probably have to say Down Bad or League of Legends, however you want to call it. I think Teddy had a very solid series. And KU farmed really well. But I think Down Bad just had some very good plays. His game 1, he dominated on the Leshrac. I forget, who did he play game 2? He played the Zeus.
Zeus, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a hard Zeus game. He still farmed really well for how little space they had on the map. Was involved with quite a few kills in person too, not even just ultimates. And then game 3, I think he was able to control the team fights on that Invoker, and he farmed pretty well too. So he was able to pick up that Aghanims, and that was one of the ways they were able to deal with these BKBs. Was it wasn't entirely reliant on the Luna. He actually did quite a bit of damage through the gyro BKB with that Cataclysm.
We're at the point now where, I mean, looking forward for Apesimps, what adjustments do you need to make going into lower bracket?
I think they need to focus on their item timings a little bit more. They hit a couple power spikes on heroes, but they weren't able to use them because they hit them at different times. Like when they picked up the gyro BKB, it was kind of just alone. There wasn't another item timing with that. When they picked up the Void Spirit Ags, there wasn't another item timing with that. Like they hit one power spike together with that double blink dagger, but they weren't able to get anything out of it because the Void Spirit only had like an Urn, Boots of Travel, and was building a Sage. And the Gyrocopter had the Ag's Maelstrom, and they got a good fight out of it. But then, like, he bought the Scotty, which is really good. However, I think if he had a BKB, they might have been able to amp up the pressure and continue laying it on them. Whereas the Luna kind of like hit their item timings, and you see the Radiant just play around them really well. And I think there's about 1 or 2, maybe even 3 fights throughout the entire series, where it was just the Dire went in, and they either kind of like drew the fight or lost it a little bit, and they had a chance to like disengage, and they didn't take it. They just went back in thinking, no, we're still strong, and they just lost 2 more heroes, and they didn't get anything out of it. I think they just need to recognize when they need to disengage, when they've blown everything they have. For lack of a better term, when they've blown their load. They just need to leave the fight.
It's an appropriate adage in this case. Do you have any final analysis for us for this best of 3 before I go into my usual outro shtick?
Dota 2 is a game of inches. And I guess Sheeesh had more inches. I'll
Thank
let
you.
you interpret that.
Thank you, Artorius. Thank you very much for your intense analysis. Do you have any final words? Thank you for joining me, Artorius. Do you have any final words, call-outs, shout-outs to give to the people of League of Lads and Twitch.tv as Badger Pablo?
Yeah, Badger doesn't like me casting anymore. That's why I'm never here. No other reason.
I'm calling that one slanderous. That is not true. That is most.
I have totally been available every single time you went to go casting. I have not been busy whatsoever.
That is most certainly not true, but we'll ignore that. Thank you for tuning on in if you joined us for part of or all of this Battle 3 between the Apesimps and Sheeesh. My name is Badger. If you want me to cast your games, cast your tournaments, contact me on the Discord. It's Badger number 5713. I'll be back multiple times this week. I know I'll be casting Lads Playoffs at 8 p.m. EST on Tuesday. Clankers and the Glamas take on Roll Swap. I'll be with you. Perhaps with Artorius on the mic, you never know. Regardless though, thank you for watching and have a great night.